Right, everyone, welcome along to the 2023 Hungarian GP at the Hungaroring. That's where it happens. Where Lewis Hamilton's on pole, and we're going to play Rick Roulette. Okay? We're going to play Rick Roulette. Rick Roulette, I think it was Dan from the Discord, has created it. So no messing around. I want you to let me know, where do you think Daniel Ricciardo is going to finish the 2023 Hungarian Grand Prix? Let me get a few more things up. Here we go. Rick Roulette. It's a bit of a basic font, isn't it? Have I got the Formula 1 font? Oh yeah, I do. Nice. Actually, I shouldn't do that for legal reasons. No. Pretend that didn't happen. There we go. Rick Roulette. Bear with me, chat, because I've remembered I need to do my timer as well, don't I? 56 minutes to go, basically. Bonk. Look at us now. Okay. Everything good? Everything. Okay, whoa. Hang on, everyone. Hang on. Welcome along, firstly. Welcome to Gamer Sebastian, Sammy, Vlatka, Nida Drifts, Mike Schmidt, Louis Cypher, Kate, Neon Sphere, and that's Wiquarit. Okay, welcome Simba as well. Simba, by the way, with a huge donation yesterday. 10 gifted memberships. Can we already get the claps out for Simba? That's absolutely huge. Get the pink hands out there. Legendary stuff. Okay, I need to work out how I'm going to do this. So, this could get pretty complicated. So Vlaka's for 8th or above. You can it doesn't work like that. You've got to choose. I'm going to put you down for 8. There you go. You're down on 8 there. Christina Chang. I want to know your prediction on Rick Roulette. Who else have we got? What have we got on Rick Roulette? Gamer Sebastian saying 14th. So I'm going to do GS. GS. Gamer Sebastian, you are in 14th. Oh, sick. Oh no, it won't work like that, will it? Hang on, this is going to look weird. But if I do this... Can I... Oh, there's a way to spin it. Oh. There's no way to spin it. Scroll. That would be sick. What if I do it like... No. Ooh. Nah. I thought there'd be a way to, like, spin the roulette one. That'd be good. Right, Kate has done 12th. Kate. Which is a K. Once your letter's taken, that's it, by the way. Get your votes in quick. Because our system does not... Our technology doesn't account for people having the same letter. Oh, God. Oh, no, I've moved the whole thing. Such a bad idea. I'm going to put mine in. I'm going to go KK. So, KK. KK. I'm going to do... I'm going to go 13th for Danny Rick. I'm going 13th. Yeah, I was thinking, Dan, if we had that one part, but I can't spin it anyway. Like, if I had a spinny animation, then I would ask for it, because I would spin that. But there's nothing I can do to spin it. Unless you can create a GIF. In fact, if you go online, you can, if you crop that bit, and online you can put it, like, GIF animation things, and find a spinny one. We'll do that. Antoine says 15th. Can you not get rid of the video game? No. Antoine Mellinger. Oh god, that's the wrong one. Hang on. Antoine Mellinger. Okay, AM. What are you saying? 15th. There you go. Antoine's on 15th. This is going to break the whole computer. The whole stream is going to just crunch. I'm going to put my contact lens the wrong way in. Nida's going 7th! Okay, Nida's going 7th. Okay. So. Nida drifts. Nida drifts is going for a P7. Christina Chang is going P10 for Ricciardo. Christina Chang. Ugh. You know what? This is such a stupid idea. In fact, Dan, can you like render these on? And then you can just send it to me like pre-rendered rather than me like instancing all these things. Sorry, Dan, I've roped you in here. Does that make sense? Lewis Cypher's going 18th. Louis Cypher's going 18th, okay. Louis Cypher. Ugh. Damn, your letters are far apart. 18th. There you go. Neon Sphere is going 9th. Neon Sphere is going 9th. There we go. Oh, Gamer Sebastian, you got a big target today. Target is 500 likes today. It's doable. I think we did the last one. Any more coming in? Look, the board's filling up for Rick Roulette. The board's filling up. There's only 49 minutes to go. Welcome along, everyone. Should do Hamilton roulette as well. Hamster wheel. Here we go. JBS BT81818. JBS is going 19th. JBS. JBS. JBS is going 19th. Bonk. In garlic? No, I definitely put this content in the wrong way. I can't see anything. I'm getting old. Davina James. Hi, Kira. I think Dan Rick is not good enough for the Red Bull, but yesterday I was impressed. He beat Yuki and made that car look respectable. I hope he does well today. It would seem many would be happy with that. Who am I? I say stand your ground. I say wish him bad luck. Don't give up like that. If you don't like the man, wish hate upon him. I live in London. Right, nicey break saying 16th. NB. For nicey brakes. NB. For old nicey brakes. Saying, what were you saying? 16th. There we go. Come on, chat. Get your likes and then get your chips on the table on Rick Roulette. I'm not sure, by the way. I was gonna say, I'll give away like a £5, €5, €5 PSN voucher, but I think that would legitimately be gambling, and I would need a gambling license. So I actually don't think I can do that. Welcome, Deacon D. Oh, Gamer's got it in Japanese as well. For our Japanese friends who are definitely asleep. The big 500. You hit your target yesterday, though. In fact, you hit both your targets yesterday, but this is a big one, the 500. My friend and I used to call North London Lun and South London Dun, like Budapest in Hungary. I like that. I like that. That's quite nice. In fact, I rate that quite a bit. I rate that more than I should. So, 46... Oh, by the way, Premiere immediately following the stream, which is me doing a Martin Brundle grid walk. So if you like grid walks, or you want to know what, basically, if you want to know what it's like being on the grid of a FIA Formula Series, then I've got a really, hopefully cool video letting you know it's just me and my GoPro on the grid, getting in people's way, trying to speak with people, generally being a nuisance. Davina, Danny Rick to finish 8th. I don't hate him at all, I think. I like Nick De Vries. He'll get some luck in his first race. So I'm confused here because Nick De Vries is not his first race. He's done. But Davina James is going P8. Same as Vlatka. DJ. That's another one coming in for P8. God. Can you change the game with the live race? Well, I could. I could. There would be some issues there to work out. I mean, technically it's possible. Within a few clicks, I could do it. But there's lots of things you can do in life that you probably shouldn't, and that's one of them. To be honest. V-Neck, we want your prediction. We need more predictions in the chat, please. Get your predictions in for Rick Roulette. In fact, I'm going to do a thing. We're going to explain what Rick Roulette is in the stream elements thing. Bear with me. Ah, so wrong. Bear with me. Chatbot. Chat commands. Custom commands. New commands. Exclamation mark Rick. Okay, activate command. Can someone in the chat do exclamation mark Rick? Yeah, Deacon Do knows all about the legal issues of YouTube. God damn, you need to be a lawyer basically to be a YouTuber these days. Davina James, Nick De Vries' first race for AlphaTauri, he finished 8th, never scored points again after that. Are you predicting something similar for Daniel Ricciardo? We will see. "42 minutes to go." by the way. Okay. Should I put the light on? Light on, light off, what do we think? Wow, McLaren looking pretty strong this season. Well, in this half of the season. Norris, Piastri. I think this is a race where Max Verstappen doesn't win it. I don't think Max Verstappen is going to win this race. I genuinely think this is it. This is the one where... It's the one that's going to get away. Does this work, by the way? Nah, hang on. Let's see. Gibbs. Okay, does this work now?
It's a beautiful summer's day. The breeze is stupendous.
Did you hear that? Why don't we get a Hamilton green screen? Okay. No, Hamilton. Transparent. Okay. Lewis Hamilton, not this musical. Okay. Right. Okay, hang on. Oh god, this is really complicated. Hamilton. Should have done this earlier, but I was making content on the crew. Oh god, it's broken. Oh no. Any Lewis Hamilton fans out there? Any Lewis Hamilton fans? Okay, how do we get this transparent? Filters, effect filters, background removal. Nah, that hasn't worked at all. Luma key. Oh. Oh no. It's like the ghost of Lewis Hamilton. Oh no, there we go. That's not bad. Ah, it's not great, is it? Oh god.
Welcome to the Q with Guard channel.
See, now I need to trigger that on and off. This is where it gets this is where I will break the computer. Screw it, let's do it. I have a spare button here, so drag an action. OBS. What is it? Hang on. Is it a seat? No, it's a source. It doesn't have source, so. Source visibility. Okay, source visibility, and then the scene is... Oh god, it's not working. Title, ham. Nah, it ain't working, I'm afraid. It's not coming on the old drop down. I press it. Oh, I should have pressed it. Now I can't get rid of Lewis Hamilton. Okay, now this has gone very wrong. Lewis, I'm very sorry, but you have to go. We'll do it for the next race. Remove. Gamer, I like Hamilton, but I'm a rugby player. What's that got to do with anything? Mark, everything on the stream should be at random angles. Nah, I'm not good enough to do that. I might have to bring that screen close. I can barely see. Like, oh, it's the guy who presents everything for kids. Who features in my video. This is weird. So on Sky Sports, I'm speaking with the presenter who does all the kids stuff, and he's in my video, the premiere coming up. How crazy is that? Such a small world. Darcy Rose says, hammer time, 100%. We will see 36 minutes to go. And is Lewis Hamilton going to be able to... who's this, Jamie Chadwick? Is someone going to be able to get away from Max Verstappen? Will Verstappen get swamped? Will someone go bowling? Bottas bowling again. Welcome, Jamie George, to the channel, by the way. Good to have you along. Davina James. Max Hamilton will win by... I've struggled to... it must be my contacts. My crazy prediction is both Alphas in the points. Okay. That is a pretty strong prediction. Like, Guanyu Zhou, though. Hang on. Guanyu Zhou sneaking into 5th place. Why have I only just realised that? Guanyu Zhou in 5th. That is interesting. First corner will be a battle. Yeah, well, the thing is, Verstappen's going to be on the outside for the first corner. So if Lando Norris can sort of follow Lewis Hamilton, then Verstappen potentially gets really squeezed out in turn 1. And then has to sort of like vie for it in turn 2, that like left-hander after that straight. So it could be bad news for Verstappen, we will see. I think Lewis Hamilton will really, really, really want to win this. I think he'll be activated. Unfortunately, he doesn't have George Russell anywhere near him, because George Russell's all the way down in 18th. George Russell's been out-qualified by both AlphaTauris and a Williams. I mean, how is that possible? Should we bring back Dancing Hamilton? Do people like Dancing Hamilton? What's the consensus on Dancing Hamilton? Back, yes or no? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. 34 minutes to go. We'll see what's going to be going on the grid walk. They're doing the driver parade. Genghis, does he stream the race? We are streaming the watch-along, confirmed. Kate says dancing with Shakira. Wow. Have to get a Shakira gif. When we move all this onto the downstairs computer, we will be able to do all sorts of stuff because it's very powerful. This computer's not very powerful. This computer breaks. Well, I should say I break this computer. Joshy says bring it back. Darcy wants it back. Vlatka put him on the right. I've deleted him. I've deleted Dancing Hamilton. Oh, God. Okay. What is it? Image. Add existing image. Huh? Did I really delete him like that badly? He doesn't exist anymore. Okay. Oops. There we go. You wanted him. You asked for this. Now I need to do the old transparency. Oh gosh. Are we happy now? Are we all happy with Dancing Hamilton? Try to also find Shakira. Now, you guys just want me to destroy the stream. Rob's patiently waiting for excessive spiciness at T1. I think we could see it. Welcome back to Cake, who says, afternoon? I'm Ron Burgundy. Gamer Sebastian, how's it looking on the like front? You almost 10% of the way there to target. Matty Cake. So what's Hamilton's chances? The Red Bull is half a second a lap faster on race pace? Be more assertive, Matty Cake. Say what you think. Just put it out there as your opinion. Okay, people are happy that Dancing Hamilton's back. This is going to turn people off the stream. Hang on, he needs to like come like above me. Where am I? Oh, I've got all of these things now. There we go. That's better. Twitter's new logo to be reviled today. It's already reviled, hasn't been announced yet. I don't think it's public. Vlatka says, anyone wants a drink, I need a coffee. Vlatka's getting drinks in, so let Vlatka if you want a drink. Do we close Rick Roulette, by the way? Is Rick Roulette closed now? Davina James says Hamilton has to get his elbows out. He can't be timid at the start. Max is on a roll, and that just needs to be broken. If they both go out, so be it. It's just one race, and Max run must be broken. Emo. Mysteriously, all of the Chimellos have gone, apart from 3. Matty Cake. Only hope I see is if Lando gets Max into T1, holds him up for first pit stops. The Lewis reacts to Max on the second pit stop and defends all race. Obviously, that's a slower 2-stop strategy. We will see. I think there could be some shenanigans here. Ironically, this race, Verstappen does have Perez somewhat a bit closer to him. I know where Hamilton should go. Hang on. Hamilton should... Oh, no. Hamilton should just chill there, right? Isn't that a better place for Hamilton to chill? Instead of coming out of my head. How's there... Oh, how did he rate the Chimellos? I think they'd be better on a barbecue. Oh no! It's a rival stream! We're being attacked! We're being attacked by ESPN! I'm defenseless because I'm eating a Chimello. I can't even ban it. Look at that. It's just, we're under attack, everyone, and Vlatka's gone for a coffee. We haven't got any mods. This is a disaster. We're under attack. Terrible news. Oh no. Oh, it's gone. Game, your screen is really laggy. I'm worried about my screen being laggy. Is the stream laggy for anyone? Or is it okay? Lando doing the big T1 Sen could be the best thing for the race. I think Lando needs to go bowling. Antoine Mellinger, I don't think Guanyu Zhou can maintain the position at the start. Well, who are Charles Leclerc breathing down his neck, and Fernando Alonso. But Fernando Alonso said earlier on the driver, like, you know, parade lap, he doesn't think he can get higher than 5th. Oh, seems fine, okay. Matty Cake saying top 3 have all lined up on softs. We will see. I think we're about to go to the grid walk, possibly. Red Bull here with a guest. It is, I believe, Terry Crews. Terry Crews is here. He's talking to a lot of people. Here comes Max Verstappen to the grid. The presenters are queuing up. You can rate my presenting later in the premiere, by the way. Rate my grid walk out of 10. And the Mercedes... I've given it away. It was going to be... And the safety car today is the Mercedes. Got the light on. We're all professional now. Yeah, so all the cars on the grid. Can't really see any drama with any sort of cars being worked on excessively. Might be time for the grid walk. Are we going to see any drama? I will call it as I see it. I will let you know how it's going to be on the drama front. Drama or no drama. Yeah, refresh the stream. That's my recommendation. Stefano Domenicali is there, along with Mohammed bin Suleiman. Is that the owner of the Formula One or the runner? And a lady with ginger hair. Is that Jerry Horner? I don't know. And there's a man in a hat. In fact, there's two men in hats. Oh, it's Apex GP people. So maybe producers of the movie. Christian Horner's there as well. Yeah, hit that refresh stream. You want to make sure the stream is all nice and smooth your end. The question, this is a really critical start here in terms of, you know, getting a clutch biting point, getting nice traction. Needed says, currently trying to decide if I pull an all-nighter and energy drink my way through time trialing to secure my spot, or passing out and getting on with the rest if I even can. I think, why don't you seek the counsel of the stream? What does the stream? What do people in chat say? Should Needed Risk pull an all-nighter, or what's the alternative? Or pass out? Hang on, that's not too... Where's the good option?
Understood, Max.
Game of Smash, does everyone like PSL? I don't think PS... Do you know what PSL means in, like, parlance? 24 minutes to go. Blacker says, never underestimate the power of sleep. I think that's a vote for passing out. Rubber Slug's come in. Rubber Slug recommending sleep. Needed Risk, well, I kind of ruined a great option not being able to sleep. Is that because of the energy drinks? They will do that. They will do that. It's like the old days here. Verstappen versus Hamilton at the front of the grid. Nida, I tried everything, but I was too excited. It might hit soon, hopefully. We will see. I'm waiting for the grid walk here. Waiting to see this grid walk here at Budapest. Absolutely packed grandstands. Like Ferrari have a grandstand. Gamer says all 63 like. That is a order. That is a instruction coming through from Gamer Sebastian. He's got his target. Again, it looks to be fairly windy in the grandstands. We didn't see that many oversteer moments in qualifying yesterday. A lot of track deletions there in qualifying. So we'll need to see if we'll get any black and white flags and maybe even penalties in the race. The grid seems to be thinning out a little bit. Are we even going to get a grid walk here? It's quite late for a grid walk now. Maybe Martin Brundle is not going to be doing a grid walk after the shenanigans in wherever the last race was, all that controversy with Cara Delevingne. I'm not sure we're going to get a grid walk. Are we going to get a grid walk? We're getting a grid walk. We're getting a grid walk. It's happening. Martin Brundle under pressure. Who is he going to offend this week? I think that's enough for dancing Hamilton. I think it doesn't make me look very professional. Arguably the Rick Roulette, has the same effect. Speaking of France toss, that's quite boring. We want to see some carnage on the grid. That's what we want to see. How is everyone doing, by the way? Everyone excited for the race? Possibly the most exciting race coming up that we've had in quite a few Grand Prix, because the story so far for the recent part of the season has been Max Verstappen dominates free practice, dominates qualifying, dominates the race. Well, that isn't going to happen here because he is not starting this race on pole position. Alpine have... Oh, I thought they had the side of the car off, but they've actually just got a huge amount of grating on the side of their engine. So maybe some cooling issues for Alpine. Antoine said he should wait for the start before going to sleep. Once Verstappen takes comfortably, okay, that's a strat coming in. Chat, what do we think? Who's going to lead this race after 3 laps? Who's going to lead this race after 3 laps? Let me know. Martin Brundle's got some rubber in his hands. Maybe he's banned from talking to people. Oh, gosh. Hang on. We need to... hide the user from the channel. Oh, all the mods have swept in there. Gamer says stop spamming. Stop spamming. Yes, indeed. Simba says Sir Lewis Hamilton is going to be in the lead on lap 3. We will see. I think the odds will say Max Verstappen. 20 minutes to go, everyone. So I think maybe what we do with Rick Roulette is Rick Roulette's done. So I'll hide it all now and we'll bring it back at the end of the race. How about that? How about that, everyone? But to go through and just hide all these things. What's my one? My one's 13. Bonk. Now it's a lot cleaner, isn't it? Can you put one of the vote things on YouTube up to vote? We certainly can. There's no reason why we cannot. Something that is possible. Right, what's going on the careers? Come on, want to see some excitement, some controversy. It looks to be quite... I said this before, I said yesterday, no one's really going to come out to the Hungary Grand Prix if you're like a big celebrity where you want to do business. Just not that sort of venue. Davina says Lewis needs to be in the lead on lap 3. He needs to fight Max hard. Will we see him defend hard? It would be good to see it for sort of old time's sake. I mean, ironically, people say Lewis didn't defend enough in Abu Dhabi 2021. Well, almost 2 years later, are we going to see Lewis Hamilton actually defend the inside? Could happen. Less than 20 minutes to go. So now Martin Brundle's on the loose. Philip says, what's Kirith? Come on, Lewis. This race means more. Love the content with Zach. Drive it like a legend. What do you mean content with Zach? Oh, you mean needed riffs? Oh, Zach Brown. What? McLaren seem quietly confident. It's amazing how much aero goes on in these Formula 1 cars. Because it's just sort of, the regulations are fairly open with that sort of stuff. Compared obviously to a well, obviously compared to a spec race. Now Bundle's on the move. He's running. Interception of, looks like Esteban Ocon maybe. I think it's Esteban Ocon. Yes, it is. Moving to intercept. I have to say this has been one of the worst grid walks I've ever seen. Not a top 10 grid walk, that is for sure. But you can only play what's in front of you, you know? You can only play the opposition that you got. Oh, it's Terry Crews now. Terry Crews goes in with a handshake. He knows that he doesn't want to be internet's enemy number one. Also, Terry Crews doesn't need security. He's doing something with his chest, like he's moving his chest as he's speaking. I think he's having a bit of fun. I hope that was voluntary. Oh, let's do a latency check, chap. Let's do a latency check. You know the drill. If you've been here before, you know how it works. So I'm going to put a number in the chat. I'm going to do the stopwatch. It was 12.36 seconds yesterday. 12.36 seconds yesterday. So I'm going to put a random number. I'm going to say a random number. As soon as you hear it, write it in the chat and we'll do the latency check. We'll work out how much latency we're rolling with today. Can we go sub 10 seconds? It's happened before. Okay, are we ready? So the random number for today is 75. 75 is the random number for the latency check. Oh, 12.53. 12.53, so basically the same as yesterday. That's interesting. 12.53 seconds, so not sub 10, but quite a bit quicker than being on Sky or whatnot. So can confirm it's 12.53 seconds. I just want to check the stream, make sure that the footage is smooth. For a second. Oh, it's quite smooth, isn't it? Yeah. Because on my preview, sometimes it looks like it's stuttering. No, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Now they're speaking with a director. Is that Ron Howard? I don't know. Didn't he do the Rush movie? Mark, I better be sub 5 on Twitch. Yeah, but it's worse quality though. Don't want to get into technicals, but Twitch only lets you upload at 6,000. We're doing way more than that. Yeah, it's a pretty barren grid, I have to say, in terms of celebrities. There's only Terry Crews. Didn't get on the Monaco list, but he's obviously eligible for Hungary. It's all a bit B-list as far as I can see. Who won, by the way? Who won the check? I think it was Mike Schmidt on my screen, followed by Dan86, and then Rob Craig in third place. That's the order on my screen. But good to see everyone get it correctly this time. No one coming in with like 32, something that doesn't make any sense. Who's this? Martin Brundle's found someone else. It's quite tall. Might be probably too short to be a basketball player. But could be like a American... No, I don't... Michael Strahan. Oh, former American football player. And TV personality. Again, it's very B-list here. Like, no offence. But it's like, this is not your top-of-the-range celebrities. Although Philip's saying it's NFL legend Strahan. Okay, maybe I just don't know. Do we agree with that? People in America? Is he NFL legend? Does he have any rings? Matty says, seems like a good foy. Time for the Hungarian national anthem. I can only assume it's a certified banger. And then there's an urn. The first place trophy is literally an urn. Very weird. It's like an urn that you put like ashes in. The ashes of like the dreams of everyone else who wanted to win the race. It's got 2 rings. Okay.
Copy.
Who have we got at the front here for the anthem? We've got Stefano Domenicali. And then, is his name Mohammed bin Suleiman? Is that him? And then some other randoms. And then there's a children's choir here. There must be a tie-in for all, like, this is the kids' weekend. Again, it's all like, at Hungary, no one really cares in terms of the corporate world. You're not going to get Salesforce out to Hungary to do, like, some massive, you know, like, client hospitality. Which is why I really like the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's a bit low-key. It's a bit amateur. Gamer says, launch the likes, lads. Gamer, you're 10% of the way there. Hungary is an interesting country, having been to Hungary quite a few times. A lot of history in Hungary, actually. Davina says, why is the anthem singing always so cringe-inducing? I think that's the point. That must be the point with anthems. Anido Sen says, Kira, do you think the McLarens will gain place at the start? I think Lando would love to. I think Lando will... I think we will see carbon fibre flying in turn 1 or turn 2. Might be turn 2 or turn 3, the next big left-hander. Matty muted the anthem. But yeah, I think we'll see damage to the cars, 100%. George Russell's in 18th place. He's already looking pretty sweaty, I have to say. Danica Patrick is involved. She's in the mix. George Russell can't understand what she's saying. Danica Patrick's like, do you agree that the world is flat? And George is like, what are you talking about? Danica's like, no, really, the earth is flat. I swear the earth is flat. Mark says that urn looks kitschy. Don't know what that means, but... Okay, everyone, we are less than 10 minutes away from basically what we've come here for. We haven't come for the anthems or the urn or Danica Patrick trying to tell us the earth is flat. We've come here for the race. I assume, anyway. In Hungary, and we're less than 10 minutes away. Very nice. Great place to sit, by the way, is turn 1 in Hungary. Really big braking zone. See the cars locking up. See how late different drivers can brake. Need to use the anthem to do a quick leaderboard check. Max Verstappen will need to overtake in this race. Max Verstappen will need to overtake. It's funny, Max Verstappen's got an ice pack where like the ice bits are transparent, I think, which is quite interesting. An ice vest. Excessively garish. GP is giving him some last minute advice. Max looks kind of focused and a little bit angry, to be honest. If he gets a good start and can sweep around the outside, but remember what happened at Catalonia. At Catalonia, Carlos Sainz qualified in P2. Carlos Sainz was ahead going into turn 1 and Max Verstappen just squeezed him out. Will we see Lewis Hamilton do something similar here? The thing is, if you try and run, if Lewis Hamilton tries to run Max Verstappen wide, then Lando Norris could potentially have both of them. Welcome back, Sammy. Davina's just here for us. He's just here for the vibes. Rob Craig says that Russell getting mugged in Q1 was pretty funny. Whatever floats your boat, my guy. Whatever floats your boat. I'm excited they got the fan on. Unfortunately, we're out. Oh, Sammy with the 99 Australian cents. Thank you so much, Sammy. Please can we get our claps out for Sammy there with the 99 Australian cents. Basically subsidising the Chimellos. Obviously, next time we need to get a bigger packet. The 140Gs isn't going to do it. Thank you so much, Sammy's Outback Adventure. I know you're going to be supporting, well, Hang on a second, the Australian participation in F1 has just doubled. And then we've got the honorary Australian in Valtteri Bottas. Advert here on Sky. It's just like nonsense of like data flowing out of cities. Computer linked up. It's Cognizant. Anyone know what Cognizant do? I never know what Cognizant actually do. What do Cognizant do? You are now in the pocket of Big Sammy. Big Sammy owns this stream. Big Sammy runs this stream. Big Sammys are Cognizant. It's now an advert for Workday. Be a finance and HR rock star. Living that life. This one goes out to all the people in finance and HR living the dream. Living like a rock star with Workday. Philip, agree. First corner's too tight. Inside will be open for Norris. V-neck saying 10 degrees difference in temp from yesterday. Rubber is going to shred. We will see. Martin Brundle was picking up rubber. He was picking up rubber. Nice job, Lewis. Pick up rubber on the way back. Sammy's got himself some chameleons. I'll tell you, life in Australia just sounds different. You guys just roll different out there. Just casually like, yeah, today I got some chameleons. That doesn't happen in the UK. Well, maybe not to the same scale. Antoine says they make a lot of money. Look, we just got a donation from Sammy. We're doing okay. We're doing okay here. Maybe I need to onboard Workday though. Maybe I need to enroll you all in Workday before you can chat. What do we think? And I'll get Cognizant to consult on it. It's the Qatar Airways Hungarian Grand Prix. Hang on a second. That doesn't make any sense. Why is it the Qatar Airways Hungarian Grand Prix? Does Qatar own Hungary? Don't think the Hungarian government's a massive fan of Qatar. Welcome, Chael from Namibia. Hope all is good down in Africa. This one goes out to our African fans. Less than 5 minutes to go. Playwright, welcome Playwright. Hey, Kirith and chat. Great to join you again for another race. Welcome back, Playwright. You weren't the one with the bar, were you? Philip saying tyre temperature might decide the race. I don't know whether this is a one-stop or a two-stop race, actually. Sammy, you think Piastri will get a podium? I hope so. But I think he'll struggle to beat Norris. I think Norris is just proving he's slightly better than Piastri at the moment. But Piastri is a rookie. So we will see. But yeah, Budapest, great place to visit. Nice food, nice people as far as I was aware. Philip says, I think 2. Ah, they're playing the opening credits here. The opening credits with Daniel Ricciardo. Sammy, what about Piastri with Hamilton? We will see. I mean, where did that lap come from Lewis Hamilton? I have to say, people were rubbishing the, like Mercedes was like, oh, we don't like the new qualifying format. If it throws up surprises like that, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. By the way, with 3 minutes to go, now is a chance. Let me know in the chat who is going to win this race. Who's going to win this race? I don't think Verstappen's going to win this race, but I think he is more likely than any other driver. Hang on, I need to explain myself. I think it's more likely than not that Verstappen will not win this race. But I think if you were going to pick any specific driver, you'd have to pick Verstappen. Does that make sense? Does anyone understand what I'm saying there? Liam's arrived, no spoilers. Don't worry, the race hasn't started yet. Only 41 degrees here. Liam saying Guanyu Zhou. Oh, Playwright's got a personal bar gaming garage. I hope you're well, mate. Who do you reckon be in the podium? Well, yesterday I called the podium for qualifying. We called it Hamilton, Verstappen, Norris. So I think here I'm going to go... Even though I think it's more likely Verstappen won't win this race, I'm going to go Verstappen... Wow, this is a really interesting race, isn't it? I'm going to go Verstappen, Norris, Piastri. Vital, you don't make sense, mate. Welcome, Cobra Snipes. I'm going to go... So, Christina wants Norris to win. I'm going to go Verstappen, Norris, Piastri. I think Perez is just too far away. I wonder if the cars are actually genuinely really equal this year, but not, Verstappen's just ridiculously good. They got the 3 softest compounds here. I wonder if that's going to increase the deck. Philip says it's too open to call. No, we're all friends here, Philip. Put it. So Sammy agrees. Put your predictions in the chat. There's only 1 minute 30 to go. Put your predictions in. Who do you think is gonna? What's the podium gonna be for this race? And at the end of the race, we'll have a look back at Ricciardo Roulette. Could a Ferrari go up there? I think the start is going to be so critical. Like, if Piastri gets swamped by Guanyu, Zhou and Leclerc, suddenly Leclerc looks kind of good for a podium. Tyrone, don't count Lewis out. Liam, imagine if Daddy Rick pulled a podium. Not going to happen. Warren says Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris. Antoine says Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris. Which is the same one. I don't know why I emphasised it differently. Yeah, ACPW's got it. You've got it. That's exactly what I mean. Lewis says Hamilton, Verstappen, Norris. Nicely, Verstappen, Norris, Piastri. I just don't think that Mercedes over... The thing is, the Mercedes did better than McLaren in Silverstone. Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to revise it. Black is going Norris, Hamilton, Verstappen. Phillips going Lewis, Max, Lando. Chael's saying Hamilton, Verstappen, Norris. I'm going to do Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris. Quite boring, but I'm going to go Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris. Nigel saying Max, Norris, Lewis. Sammy's got Nutella ice cream, very nice. Evo, Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris. Liam says we just don't know how long pace is going to look. Dan, Hamilton, Norris, Russell from the back. If there's a safety car or something, I don't know. What's Russell's strategy? Welcome, Snowline. Cobra Snipe saying Max will take Lewis out. I mean, so they're getting ready to take the tyre warmers off here on the grid. Tyre warmers are off. Lewis Hamilton looks like he's on a scrubbed set. Looks like a scrubbed set for Lewis Hamilton there. George Russell just wiping the sweat off his eyes. Not even joking. Tyrone, the real race between Hamilton and Norris.
That'll be the session over.
Oh, shoot. Hang on. Oh, God. Oh, no. Almost hit the wrong button of my mouse there. There we go, let's get this in. It's on the formation now, I just need to get this into the race, don't I? There we go. Sorry, I should have done all this earlier. Should have done this earlier, but we'll do it now. Just having too much fun.
Welcome to race day.
Right, we're all good. Get rid of that timer as well.
Taking a look at Max Verstappen.
You can see the tyres up there. Sorry, not scrub softs or Hamilton, it's mediums.
And behind them, it's Perez.
What position does Russell finish? I don't know. Have a look at the formation lap here. There's a Red Bull on hards. I think there's a Red Bull on hard tyres. That Sergio Perez must be on the hards. So Perez is going to try and go long.
And here we go with the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Don't worry, that's not... I can't see yet. As I see on my screen, the cars are just going around the last few corners. Lewis Hamilton's really backing up the pack here. Wow, really backing up the pack. He doesn't want to sit near the front and let everything get cold. But now Verstappen's backing everyone up. Hamilton's gone and Verstappen's just staying stationary. Oh, there's all fun and games already. It's all fun and games. I see you, Gabe and Sebastian. Right, now Hamilton's dropped back again and backed everyone up. It was all a little bit political there. I'm going to call the start as I see it, everyone. I'm going to call the start as I see it. Yeah, Denny is going to rain. So Hamilton was really trying to be wily there. Verstappen was playing some shenanigans. I don't think Toto Wolff is impressed. And there we go, pulling onto the grid stall. Lewis Hamilton looks to be in his box. Hamilton is, Verstappen is right on the edge of his box in P2. Here come the rest of the grid filtering in, including Alex Albon. They're still coming around the last corner. Oh, sorry, Logan Sargent at the back, my bad. Right, all cars in the position. I'm going to call it how I see it on the feed. So let you know who's going to get a good start. Three lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Light us out. They're away. Oh, there's a slow car somewhere. I think an Alfa Romeo had to overtake his teammate. Hamilton, but Verstappen almost in the wall. Verstappen with a really good start up the inside. Someone's on the grass. Verstappen's got the inside line. He's going to overtake Hamilton. There's almost contact, but Lando Norris might get both of them. Yellow flags are out. There's a bowling at the back. Basically, Lando was overtaken Lewis Hamilton and Verstappen's in the lead. And now Oscar Piastri's trying to go around the outside of Hamilton. Really bad start here for Lewis Hamilton. Terrible start. The McLarens are in P2 and P3. Hamilton has had a disastrous start. I need to cough a second, my bad. Terrible. I had a bad situation there with Lewis Hamilton. He's been swamped there by both McLarens. Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Crazy. In fact, I think Piastri might be the driver in P2. Yes, it's Piastri in P2. Piastri had the great start, so almost as we predicted, Lewis Hamilton tried to defend against Max Verstappen by pushing him a bit wide at the first corner, and the McLaren of Oscar Piastri, who somehow had got ahead of Lando Norris, managed to get up the inside. That is the first corner. People in chat called it. Really difficult position for Lewis Hamilton. Really difficult. By the way, let me just extend this out so you can get your lap times here. There you go. And it looks like Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon, both Alpines, were caught up in that instant. It must have been Guanyu Zhou who had a terrible start and Valtteri Bottas overtook him. So Guanyu Zhou, who started in P5, I think had a terrible start. There was almost got rampant behind. What's all the dust on the straight? Basically, some cars had to go wide. I think Guanyu Zhou had a terrible start and the cars had to avoid him and go on the grass. And then there was some bowling at the end. It must have been Ocon Gasly and unfortunately also Daniel Ricciardo potentially involved. But you can see Ocon and Gasly. Oh, puncture for Gasly. Gasly's in the pits. He's had a right rear puncture. The rear wing is broken. That's not going to be fixable. The rear ring is broken and you can't replace that. So Gasly is going to be out of this race, unfortunately. Looks like the Alpines might have taken each other out. Gasly, yeah, Warren's called it. Not good news for Gasly. And Alpine, who just really seem to have lost their momentum. Esteban Ocon getting P3 in Monaco. It's just gone downhill since there, really. The Ferraris are fighting each other. So Carlos Sainz has had an insane start. Carlos Sainz up to P6 has gained 5 positions and he's all over Charles Leclerc. Carlos Sainz is really on the move here. As I'm seeing it, they're going down the home straight over the start-finish line. Carlos Sainz is too far behind, but if I was him, I'd be on the radio saying, I want to overtake Charles Leclerc. I have the pace here. Warren saying Carlos Sainz on softs. That could be it. Yes, on the Red Bull soft tyre for Carlos Sainz. But still, I think a bit of a masterclass there because he's on the softer compound, but he has got the positions. How did Hamilton fall so quick, Hyper says? Just got absolutely swamped. I mean, to be fair, he's only lost 2 positions, but he was swamped at the start. Max Verstappen got a really good start and almost overtook him immediately, and that forced Hamilton to have to go defensive, and by going defensive, it opened himself up to the McLarens. Oh no! Esteban Ocon's in the pits as well. I think both Alpines are out. We haven't seen this for ages. 2 teammates must have come together, and both Alpines are out of the race. That is an absolute disaster, and frankly, really sort of unacceptable. I'm going to have a look here at the replay from the start. Not a disaster for Hamilton, but not ideal. Guanyu Zhou with a terrible start. Everyone filtered past him. Hamilton needed to push Max Verstappen into the wall on the inside, and that was giving a great run for both McLarens. Lando Norris tried to go around the outside, but it was Oscar Piastri who just kept his line on the inside, and arguably, wow, oh, bowling at the back. That was Daniel Ricciardo involved. Guanyu Zhou did not start at all. It's a terrible start for Guanyu Zhou in 5th place. Where is he now? Down in 16th place. I mean, I haven't seen a start like that bad for ages. And oh no! Guanyu Zhou runs into one of the Alpines, and I think Daniel Ricciardo might have run into the back of the other Alpine. Going to see it here. On board with Daniel Ricciardo. They're getting past the stricken Alfa Romeo Guanyu Zhou. Does he miss his braking point? Does he run into the Alpine? He just sort of tags the Alpine a little bit, and he pushes, it must be Esteban Ocon, into Pierre Gasly. So Daniel Ricciardo just ever so slightly nudges Esteban Ocon, who goes all over the back of Pierre Gasly. That's why there's such severe damage. Gasly had to go around the outside of Guanyu Zhou. He was doing a great move around the outside, and unfortunately, oh, it's just a disaster. Now I'm on board with Esteban Ocon. So Ocon was on the inside. He wasn't that impeded by Guanyu Zhou. He's got a Haas ahead of him. So Ocon's trying to keep it relatively tight on the inside. So what happens here? Oh, gets a little nudge. Oh, and hits his teammate. Disaster, disaster, disaster. And then right rear suspension damage for both Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly. In fact, I think that's Ocon jettisoning his tyre. They will be furious. But does Daniel Ricciardo have any damage? I don't think so, because if you have a look, he's only 0.8 behind Logan Sargent. Sammy saying great start for the Honey Badger. Not really. DRS is enabled now. Oscar Piastri is 1.8 seconds behind Verstappen. So if you were hoping for a different start here, I'm afraid Verstappen is already extending the gap, and he has the fast lap as well. Carlos Sainz on the soft tyre is only 0.7 behind Charles Leclerc. That's for 5th and 6th. Surely Ferrari have to let Carlos Sainz through here. There's no point in being on the soft tyre and being held up. Liam saying Guanyu Zhou pushed Danny Rick into the Alpine, so maybe there was another disastrous start for Guanyu Zhou. I mean, what happened at the start there, I do not know. It's almost like he didn't react in time, I have to say. It was very, very, very unusual. You can see the track map on the bottom left, on the left-hand side. Verstappen, Piastri, Norris, Hamilton, and there is Carlos Sainz all over the back of Charles Leclerc, and they're starting to become a Fernando Alonso train in the bottleneck behind. George Russell, meanwhile, he started in 18th. He's up to P13, so he's gained quite a few positions. But I think Carlos Sainz is the driver that's arguably had the best start. Unless you count Verstappen, Norris and Piastri, all of them have gained a position there. Lewis Hamilton going from P1 down to P4. What a disaster, all in one corner. Pete saying Perez already sleeping. Perez has gained a position. He's trying to go around the outside of Fernando Alonso here. Surely he's going to get it done. We know Perez on the hard tyres. Alonso is on the mediums. Perez still with DRS as they go into turn 3. The left-hander. Perez trying to do a switch back here. Is he going to get it done? Fernando Alonso is really defending hard here against Sergio Perez. Really, really strong defence. Welcome, Chris. Welcome, Patral. Yeah, Russell had a good start as well. Red Bull GP2 engine. I don't think so. I think we're going to see Sergio Perez get past Fernando Alonso here, and therefore Ferrari really need to decide what they're going to do. Are they going to let Carlos Sainz through on the faster tyre or not? They need to make a decision. Liam's saying in the chat, what are Ferrari doing? Need to swap the cars. I completely agree. They need to let Carlos Sainz through. He's the only driver up there on the soft tyre. I mean, they are racing Sergio Perez. Let's make no bones about it. VNet saying, here comes Norris. We will see. You can see the deltas there, the cars sort of falling into their comfortable position just a little bit behind the car in front, not too affected by the dirty air washing off the back of the rear wing and out of the rear diffuser and over the tyres as well. Alonso defending like last year, those softs are going to fall off. Alonso's not in the softs though, he's on the mediums. And Perez cannot get past on the home straight and is backing everyone up. Hulkenberg's there and Lance Stroll as well. So Sergio Perez, how good are you? Can you get past Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin? We will see. Max saying Piastri's doing great. Apple Louder saying Max isn't better than Senna. Not sure where that's come from. Not sure anyone asked the question, but thank you for letting us know your opinion. Oscar Piastri, meanwhile, is in P2. We would all love to see Oscar Piastri pick up a podium here, but he's falling off the back of Max Verstappen. Normal business service has been resumed, it seems, with Piastri 2 seconds behind Verstappen already. We're 10% of the way through the race. Sammy says, can Snowline and Peter Guinan stop flirting, please? And the message has been retracted, but it's too late because I read it. Disaster. Maybe I wasn't meant to read it. Sarah says, where can I watch only race? No idea. I do not know. Carlos Sainz is still behind Charles Leclerc, but he's dropped back to 1.7 seconds. Maybe he's going to be the buffer. Charles Leclerc will want Carlos Sainz as a buffer to the rampaging Sergio Perez. Perez is going to try and overtake Alonso again on the home straight as they go over for lap 8. He's got a big overspeed. Alonso doesn't really go defensive. Sergio Perez up the inside, going to get the move done. Alonso's going to try and cut back, but it'll be on the outside, so Perez gets the move done quite easily, to be fair, and he's got the double DRS, so Sergio Perez is up into P7, and that is going to be a big problem for Ferrari. Apple Louder, I mean, I'm probably the only person who uses throttle technique on the race on Gran Turismo. You must be a World Tour champion. Key saying go Piastri. Lots of Piastri fans in the chat here. Like having a look at the move by Sergio Perez. It's pretty much a regulation move, that one. Lando Norris with the fastest Sector 2. Look, we've seen that Red Bull just do not seem to be the best in Sector 2. And we saw how difficult Sergio Perez had it when trying to overtake Fernando Alonso. Let us see how this race is going to pan out. Meanwhile, the Williams have filtered back. Daniel Ricciardo overtakes Alex Albon. Just seen it there. In fact, Alex Albon in the pits. That's why. It's not on track, but Alex Albon is pitting very, very, very early. Is he someone that starts on the medium? Is he going to go on the hards now till the end of the race? Could that be the strat for Alex Albon? Philip saying Piastri, impressive debut season. To be fair, it's turning into one of the best rookie seasons we've seen for a very, very long time. Exactly, Mark's got it. Davina, all my predictions are dead within the first 3 corners. First corner here at Hungaroring can be brutal. Such a funnel. No way, Sheikh Mansour, Sheikh Mohammed. Great to have a bona fide Sheikh in the stream. Liam Connell saying that Guanyu Zhou got a 5-second penalty. Alex Albon with a 2.8-second stop. Couldn't see what time. He's on the hard, as I called it. So Alex Albon could be going on the hards now till the end of the race. Sammy's outback. Thank you so much for the Australian 99 cents. Thank you so much, Sammy. You must be over the moon with Oscar Piastri, your man, in P2. Could this be the start of an amazing Formula 1 career? We will see. But Oscar Piastri is doing really well. Vino saying track is a minimum 2 stop. I don't know. That's a very early stop by Alex Albon, who immediately sets the fastest Sector 2 out of anybody on track. Wow, Alex Albon on the move. Welcome to Yegon Patrick. By the way, if you're enjoying the stream, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. Got the like target of 500 today. You don't want to miss the next stream, so make sure you subscribe. Max Verstappen has still got the fastest lap though. But look at Alex Albon there. Wow, fastest Sector 3 as well. So the hard compound. And there's a slew of cars coming in. Lance Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda, and Valtteri, Bottas all coming into the pits, and they're all running immediately behind each other. So they might have thought one of them might want to do an undercut or something, but they've all come in at the same time. Lance Stroll off the soft tyre onto the hard tyre. Are they going to come out in the same order they came in? I think so. No, they're not, because Yuki Tsunoda must have a big issue. Yuki Tsunoda with a 7.3 second pit stop. So Yuki Tsunoda has an absolute disaster there. In fact, Tsunoda's going to come out behind Alex Albon. Disaster for AlphaTauri. What tyres did they go on to? Yes, hard tyres for Stroll, Bottas and Tsunoda. Looks like the hard tyre seems to be really working here. As you can see, Lance Stroll setting the fastest Sector 2. So I think that's going to cause a chain reaction to pit stops going up the grid. So if you're Logan Sargent, are you going to come into the pits here? If you're Kevin Magnussen, are you going to come into the pits? Keith Bennett, member for 4 months. I know you're a big Oscar Piastri fan as well. Hope you're happy with your man's performance so far. Right, here we go. Science Radio. Switch position Sierra. And Science saying, I think it's too early. Hang on a second. Ferrari asking Carlos Sainz to overtake Charles Leclerc. And Carlos Sainz saying it's too early. What is going on there? Hang on, if your team says it's a free position, surely you bite it off. What happened with Yuki Tsunoda? Tsunoda came in. There was an issue on the front left. They could not get the tyre off. Keith Bennett, by the way, gifting 5 membership. Thank you so much, Keith Bennett. Brian Goido, Kiwi Exotics, Thinking AI, Brandon Burrows and Sky Willard. Can we get some claps out, please, for Keith Bennett gifting 5 memberships to the channel? That is incredible support, not only for the channel, but very generous as well. Lots of people are going to benefit from those memberships. That is awesome. Guanyu Zhou, by the way, also had a slow pit stop, 9.7 seconds. I'll let you know what happened there. Ferrari just cannot do anything correctly. Thank you so much, Keith. Really appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the race with your man, Oscar Piastri, in P2. What lap are we on? We are on lap 11 out of 70 at the moment. Look at that. AlphaTauri working in slow motion. Meanwhile, Daniel Ricciardo's up in P13, but he hasn't stopped yet. He will get jumped by quite a few drivers. Guanyu Zhou with the fastest Sector 2. So the new tyres working really, really well. And Valtteri Bottas has done the fastest lap of the race. So the people that have pitted on the hard tyre, it looks like you want to be on the hard tyres right now. What does that mean if you're Sergio Perez? Because Sergio Perez can't go from the hards onto the hards and finish the race. So if fresh hards are the tyre to be on, then Sergio Perez is out of luck, frankly. Thanks so much, everyone in chat. Warren, Liam, Natasha. I just let you know, bro, it's lap 12. Lap 12 in the chat. See everyone there, welcome to membership in the sub box. Tyron has to get a fresh McLaren shirt. Well, McLaren are really doing really well in the second half of the season, I have to say. Guanyu Zhou with the fastest Sector 1. So the Alfa Romeo's on the move. Keith Bennett for the Australian $5. It looks like the Mercedes can't get the cocktail right, got the speed, but now the tyres are overheating. That might be it. They might be more heat sensitive. Although in Barcelona we saw them sort of really handle the temperatures well, much better than the Ferraris. But thanks so much, Keith. The support from Australia in the stream has been absolutely insane. Loving it from our Australian friends down under. Kylie says go Ferrari. Speaking of Australians, Kylie says go Ferrari. How many laps is this race? 13 laps out of 70. Look at the support coming in for Keith Bennett. 5 gifted memberships and an Australian $5 donation. Incredible support from Keith Bennett. Massively, massively appreciated. We're on lap 13. Valtteri Bottas says, oh, Guanyu Zhou with a blistering lap. 1:23 from Guanyu Zhou. Is that going to force people? People are going to get undercut here. Surely Kevin Magnussen is getting ferociously undercut. He must be. And Daniel Ricciardo's getting undercut. They're 2 seconds a lap slower. Have a look at their lap times. Guanyu Zhou 2 seconds a lap faster than George Russell in P10. That is textbook undercut. And he's going even faster right now. The man who forgot to start the race, then forgot to brake at turn 1, took out both Alpines. Impressive stuff. Is now the fastest man on track. Snowline, very nice seeing McLaren doing so well this year. No worries. Oh, I thought it was to me. That's for Keith Bennett. Obviously, I was going to claim that. Much appreciated, Keith. Yes, indeed. Keith's got his McLaren jumper on. Yeah, 123s. Now, remember, in qualifying, we saw 1 minute 16s, if I remember. That shows you the difference when you've got a full fuel load in the car. But that is going to fall. Nico Hulkenberg did a 126. They need to pit. I don't know what they are going to get undercut really badly here. Really, really badly, surely. But remember, Guanyu Zhou lost 7 seconds in the pits. So, Vincent says, can Alonso catch up? I don't know. But yeah, just bear in mind, yeah, Zhou had the big ping stop. Right, oh, Williams coming into the pits. Almost losing the back end, getting some big swaz. It's Logan Sargent. He's a man who's been undercut very badly. So we'll see where he comes out. Welcome, Sarah, to the channel. Dan, Friske, Katal, Chef Stefan, Daniel CVT, and Mukshanu Yuchuk. If you want to be in the next list, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. You won't regret it. You guys and girls grow the channel. A 4.5 second stop for Logan Sargent, and he's going to be overtaken by Guanyu Zhou. That shows you how much time Guanyu Zhou lost in the pits there, unfortunately. But people like Lance Stroll doing a 124.6. I mean, that is over 1 second faster than Daniel Ricciardo. And 2 seconds faster almost than Kevin Magnussen. What are the Haas's doing? Surely the Haas's need to bring their driver in. Meanwhile, Carlos Sainz still has not overtaken Charles Leclerc. In fact, he's dropping off. Sergio Perez is all over the back of Carlos Sainz, surely. Going by the Delta. Meanwhile, at the front of the race, Oscar Piastri is now 6 seconds behind Max Verstappen. I don't think Verstappen is going to have it quite all his own way here because of the McLarens. He might be able to eke out a pit stop over Lewis Hamilton, a free pit stop. We will see, because I think Hamilton is about 12 seconds behind. Welcome, Fan Beatrice from Nigeria. Hope all is well. Let us know if you're watching from Lagos. Nico says, what happened to Hamilton? Terrible start, where he was caught in an impossible position trying to defend from Verstappen, and that opened him up to the McLarens. Matty saying top 4 will finish like this. Matty saying Piastri has no hope of anything more than third. We will see. I think Piastri can definitely finish P2 in this race, because I don't think McLaren are going to pull team orders, but I could be wrong. But speaking of team orders, Carlos Sainz is really in the clutches now of Sergio Perez. You can see the interval there between Leclerc and Perez. There we go. There's the overtake. Sergio Perez must be on the home straight. Overtakes Charles Leclerc. That is hard tyres on the Red Bull, overtaking soft tyres on the Ferrari. What a change from last year, where Ferrari started the championship arguably as the fastest car on the grid. What a fall from grace. Philip saying Sainz in the pits. Okay, it was a pit stop for Carlos Sainz. They've got the hard tyre out. Gonna have a look at the pit stop. He's gone all the way down to P11. Let's see. So on my feed now, Sainz comes into the pits, runs really wide on the entry, trying to maximise it. Little bit of a lock-up on entry on the left front. Won't care too much as long as he got it under speed. Those tyres are coming off, never to be used again. Soft tyres come on, hard tyres go on. Really, really, really quick stop. That was a super quick stop from Carlos Sainz, from the Ferrari team, I should say. We've seen some really slow pit stops in this race, but Ferrari did a mega job there. Liam, the only hope of beating the undercut is to go very long. Yeah, it could be 1 stops versus 2 stops here, but what if the people on 2 stops can convert it to a 1 stop? I do not know. Keith says, I was just about to ask that. Do you think Piastri will get a team order to let Norris pass? I hope not. I think... I don't know. I don't think so. That's my hunch, actually. Hamilton's been on the radio.
Yeah, copy.
Yeah, thanks, Laka. By the way, let us know, where in the world are you watching the stream from? We've had Nigeria, we have Namibia, we've got Canada, we've got the UK, we've got Northwest Croatia. Let us know in the chat, where are you watching this stream from? Would be awesome to know. We're only 16 laps in. There's a long way to go in this race, and the lap times are really variable. I'm on board here with Lewis Hamilton, and he goes into the pits. Hamilton in the pits, nice and early. Where's Lewis Hamilton going to come out? Wow, happened to be on board with him. Any lock up from Hamilton? No, there isn't. He's already on. Well, I thought he was on the mediums, but it looks like hard. I need to see. It might just be like the glow of the sun on the outside. A 2.8 second stop there for Lewis Hamilton. I'll need to see what tyres he's gone onto. Presumably it was a mediums to hards, and I think that's what it is. I think it's mediums to hards. For Hamilton just comes out ahead of Danny Rick, who hasn't pitted yet. Daniel Ricciardo might think about doing the cutback, can't quite do it. But Hamilton racing Ricciardo just like it's 2016 all over again. Sammy from Maluri, we've got Philippines, Majuri in there. Magius from India. Liam Tunbridge Wells, Ken. Oh, thanks Uncharted. Cat House from North Carolina. Lewis from Zimbabwe. Desmond from South Africa. Tobias from Sweden. Frank says, do you think Lewis will ever get back stronger? I think it could happen next season. I think next season could be very interesting. Philip saying Norris pit stop. Yes, Norris in the pits. We'll see where he comes out. And also Charles Leclerc as well. South Africa, Aruba, and more from India as well. Let's try and keep the language clean in the chat. Family-friendly stream, family-friendly chat. We know we can do that. South Africa. Oh, 2 for South Africa. Mose in Zambia. Well, we've got a big African contingent here. I love it. Big in Africa. Lando Norris, by the way. Surely that's a hell of a pit stop to come out in P5. So he hasn't had to deal with George Russell at all. Although he has come out behind Fernando Alonso, who has not pitted. Perez, Alonso, Piastri have not pitted. But what's that? Oh, very slow stop for Charles Leclerc. 9.4 second stop for Charles Leclerc. What has happened here? Why are we seeing so many slow pit stops? Disaster for Charles Leclerc. So he's now behind Carlos Sainz, and he just gets out ahead of Valtteri Bottas. He's going to try and cut him back. Piastri's going to Bottas. Leclerc's racing with Bottas here, but he's going to get the inside line. Disaster from Charles Leclerc. South Korea, Paul is in Australia. North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany, South Africa as well. Awesome. Awan is a Polish F1 fan. Good to see everyone in the chat. Great to have you on board, by the way. We love what we do here at the weekends. And following this stream is an exclusive premiere of me doing a grid walk at Formula E. So if you want to see what it's like to be on the grid at a race like this, I'm going to show you behind the scenes. Unlimited access, can go where I want. That is premiering after this race, so you don't want to miss it. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be on the grid, doing a Martin Bundle grid walk, I'm going to answer it for you. Lando Norris in P4 is the man on the move here. You can see fast Sector 2 and Sector 3. Is that going to force Max Verstappen into a pit stop? We will see. Norris has jumped Oscar Piastri. What the hell has happened here? How has Lando Norris jumped Oscar Piastri? Piastri comes out of the pits. Lando Norris on the outside. Goes clean round the outside. It's an undercut from Norris. That's big drama. Big drama. It's not team orders, but it's team priority. Lando Norris getting the pit stop a lap earlier. Got out onto the fresh rubber and has undercut Oscar Piastri. If you're Oscar Piastri, you've got to be furious about that. Surely you've got to be furious. Oscar Piastri's been undercut by Lando Norris. Chat. Oh, big controversy there. Surely you pit the car ahead. Is that kind of like quasi-team orders there from McLaren? Oh, we've got Cyprus in the house. Lewis Cypher saying that their wheel guns could be sticking. I didn't see what happened with Charles Leclerc, but this is a story of pit stops at the moment. Cars running quite close together, and the undercut is really powerful. Really powerful here.
Bottas is pitted now.
Eusebio from Zimbabwe. New saying classic Max dive from at the start, only marginally legal. Oh, I didn't see too much wrong, but interesting. Flack saying Ricciardo 18th must have been in the pits. Hamilton saying, how have they got 9 seconds all of a sudden? That's a crazy amount. So that must be to the McLarens. I think the people who called a difficult race for Lewis Hamilton have called it correctly. The question is now, can Sergio Perez build a free pit stop ahead of anyone else? Has he got a free pit stop ahead of Lewis Hamilton? Because that would be Hamilton in P1. I think Sergio Perez started this race in like P8 or something. Sergio Perez would be jumping Lewis Hamilton. How crazy would that be? Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc is trying to get past Lance Stroll. You can see in your standings he's done it. I'm going to let you know how it happened up the inside at turn 3. Is he going to gently squeeze Lance Stroll wide? No, he doesn't need to. Lance Stroll backs out. Welcome, Ezra from the Netherlands. Yeah, the undercut's very powerful here, so if it's going to be a 2-stop race, we might see that again. Antoine saying Norris is first driver hierarchy. Davina's winning the Dan Rick roulette. Not at the moment, though. He's in 18th. Maybe you were, but Danny Rick's back down in 18th. So not sure what's happened there. That he's ended up behind Logan Sargent. Oh, hang on a second. Fernando Alonso has gone past Charles Leclerc. What's happening here? Was that Alonso in the pits? Alonso must have pitted and come out and battling with Charles Leclerc. And now Alonso's lost out to Lance Stroll. It's very difficult to keep an eye on what's going on here. I'm going to see now. Seeing Alonso come in. I thought I saw Alonso fighting with Charles Leclerc. But now he's dropped behind Valtteri Bottas as well. Must be big drama for Fernando Alonso. Something big must have happened to Alonso here. I'm going to follow it on the stream. So as I see it, Alonso comes into the pits, takes off the medium tyres, puts on the hards. Bit of a sticky left rear situation. It's a 3.4 second stop. So not a disaster. And he must be fighting on exit with a Ferrari. What happens? No, he just comes out behind Valtteri Bottas. I completely misinterpreted that. I think that must have been Lance Stroll battling with the Ferraris. My bad. Just got a bit overexcited there. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen hasn't pitted yet. Let me just resize this thing so you can see the lap tyres of Verstappen. How about that? There we go. Awesome. So, Lando Norris, fastest man on track. He's going half a second quicker than Verstappen and a second quicker than Sergio Perez. Now, I don't think Perez is really racing Lando Norris, but that's a big old gap. Hang on. Yeah, Verstappen has built a big old gap because he hasn't pitted yet. Welcome to 3-year-old Braveheart and Cameron F1, by the way, joining the crew. If you want to be part of the channel, hit the subscribe button. It's completely free. You won't regret it. People who join, they absolutely love it. Oh, even more. Richard Aston, Richard Vanderberg, Iro from Poland, Graham Eusebio from Zimbabwe, Paula Adkins, Madhur from India, and Rooker Gaming as well. Welcome to all the new subscribers. We're on lap 22 out of 70. Lando Norris is fastest man on track. I actually need to just hit my drivers for intermediate tyres in the thing in the background because it started to rain and they're going to crash.
Checo box.
There we go. Just do that in the background.
Box.
Man, I feel bad for Oscar Piastri. I do feel bad. But is it going to be a one-stop or a two-stop race here? Welcome, Jevon B. Anita, do you think Piastri is quicker than Lando among the McLarens? We will see now. The proof is in the pudding now for Oscar Piastri, because if he wants to be the fastest driver, he needs to put Lando Norris under pressure and force McLaren into a decision where they need to say, Lando, Oscar is faster than you. So at the moment, he's 2.5 seconds behind. But he basically got undercut. The undercut here is absolutely insane. Looking at Fernando Alonso, meanwhile, doing an undercut on track, going deep into the entry phase of the corner and then cutting back and overtaking, I think that was Valtteri Bottas on the exit.
Okay, copy.
Having a look at the lap times here. Carlos Sainz on the move. Lewis Hamilton on the move. Remember, George Russell hasn't pitted yet. Verstappen box. Verstappen is boxing. Verstappen is coming into the pits. Guanyu Zhou forgot to start the race. 500 ping moment. But Max Verstappen is coming in. He is surely going to come out just ahead of Sergio Perez. We will see. Or is there going to be any drama there? Lewis saying Red Bull screwing Perez with strat here. He's lost 2 seconds to Lando already. Lando and Oscar in the 123s. I'm going to call it as I see it from the feed, by the way. Max Verstappen coming in. Is it going to be a flawless stop? Is it raining? No, it's not raining in Hungary. It's just in our game it's raining. You got the satellite map there at the bottom. Right, here goes Max Verstappen into the pits, and they are putting on the hard tyre. It's a bit confusing. It's such a quick pit stop. It looked like they were putting on mediums at the back. 2.9 second stop. Where does he come out at the end? How comfortable is it with Sergio Perez? Presumably very comfortable. Having a look here on the exit. Yes, well out ahead of Sergio Perez. Nicely done for Max Verstappen. And now, you say they're screwing Perez, but what Red Bull can do is they can use Perez to hold up McLaren. This is the advantage that Red Bull have that we haven't seen for the last 5 races, is having Sergio Perez up there going long, who can act as a buffer. We obviously saw that to great effect in Abu Dhabi in 2021. I mean, Sergio Perez basically won... Oh, we got a bot. Sergio Perez basically won Max Verstappen the championship in 2021, lest we forget, because he was able to hold up Lewis Hamilton. And now Sergio Perez can do the same thing with Lando Norris, who's going to be almost 2 seconds or under 2 seconds behind very soon. No worries, Bren. Glad you're enjoying it. 2,600 people watching. Welcome along, everyone. Braveheart, Norris must have had an insane in-lap before pitting. Yeah, even Hamilton was surprised, but Norris knew what he was doing. That was his opportunity to undercut Oscar Piastri and force the issue, and it's happened. That might be a bit frosty after the race if we think those two are in the cool-down room, but to be honest, I think Oscar Piastri would be pretty happy with the podium after finishing P4 in the game. Is that Lewis Hamilton sending Max Verstappen?
So what happened there?
Perez is pitting. Yep, you guys are seeing it. Perez in the pits. Right, so they're not going to do that strat. Had the option, but they're going to try. And now, wow, it's only 5.3 seconds between Verstappen and Lando Norris. Let's see what kind of genuine pace the McLarens have.
It's a race position gained from Mercedes.
The suit, if Lewis had let Max hit him in turn 1, it would have been all on Max. We will see. Good start for Perez in the pits. Have a look at the gaps between Norris and Verstappen. We know that the Red Bulls aren't the best in Sector 2. In fact, you can see there is a 3/10 difference in Sector 2, albeit Verstappen did a faster Sector 1. So the cars are set up and just generally a little bit stronger in different parts of the track. Russell, I believe, has not pitted yet, so Hamilton must have overtaken Russell on track for position. Hamilton saying, where am I losing all the time? Is it just the car slow? And Mercedes saying a lot of it is straight line. Wow, look at that. Norris with a faster lap than Verstappen. So Verstappen on the fresh hards, but Lando Norris gaining on Max Verstappen there. Keep an eye on those splits. Keep an eye on those sector times. Danny Rick was in the points. That's because he hadn't pitted. But there must have been some issue with the pit stop. Maybe he had damage from that crash at the beginning there. I think I just saw Hamilton and Russell swap positions.
Checo behind, same lap time.
Remember, George Russell started this race in P18. Where is he going to come out when he pits? He could come down. I'm trying to do some rough maths. As low as Tsunoda, Hulkenberg. Could be really bad there for George Russell when he pits. But keep an eye on those sector times, everyone. Tapi was from Zimbabwe. By the way, if you're just hearing that question now, hit live. You are not live if you're hearing that. Go on YouTube, hit that live button, and you will be basically only 12 seconds behind the race, as fast as you can get anywhere else. While you're down there, hit the subscribe button as well, hit the like button, and also put notifications on all. You won't regret it. Top tips for you. Zach says Lando was Snoke, Max and Red Bull. Flatter says, go on Lando, chew him up, keep an eye. Again, Lando goes faster in Sector 2, albeit he was slower in Sector 1. And it's pretty even in Sector 3. I think Lando's going to be giving it everything here. Is it going to be a one-stop race or is it going to be a two-stop race? The first driver to pit onto the hard tyres was Alex Albon. He went really early. I think about lap 9 or so. So if we see Alex Albon pit and go onto softs or onto mediums and go significantly faster, that will cause a chain reaction of pit stops up the grid. So the driver to watch out for is Alex Albon, and Williams and Alex Albon doing an amazing job here. Up in 12th place in the Williams. He has no right to be that high, but doing a really, really good job. No edible straw today. That was the last edible straw that I had. I wanted to show you yesterday. You had to be here yesterday for the edible straw. That's why you need to subscribe. If you're not subscribed, you miss out on the edible straws. Game changing. Cindy says, go Carlos. Cindy's a big Carlos Sainz fan, if you know what I mean. And Carlos Sainz, by a slow pit stop, has got ahead. Whoa! Battle here between a Red Bull and Carlos Sainz. Hang on, what's going on here? Oh, it's Perez. Carlos Sainz defending against Sergio Perez on the straight, but Perez gets ahead, and there is a lapped car in between. You guys asked for it. You guys. I tell you what, if we get to 200 likes, I'll bust out the edible straw. 200 likes will get the edible straw. Someone keep a track of that. And I'll show you what an edible straw is like. This will change your life. I'm telling you. Game changer. Like living in the future. 200... Oh, God. Oh, man of my word. You didn't even hear that. That was before a 12-second delay.
That's a good overtake from Alpine.
Perez and up the inside of Carlos Sainz there. And then there is a lap car involved. There we go. This is an edible straw. Cheers, everyone. What are the top three right now? Frank says all the way from Nigeria. You can see at the top left there it is Verstappen, Norris, and then Oscar Piastri. You just want to see edible straws, don't you? That's the content you guys and girls want to see. Right, so Norris, 6.1 seconds. He's kind of hanging in there. The thing is, Max Verstappen, I know the feeling. When I go racing in real life, and you're like, right, okay, the guy ahead of me is really fast, but I feel good. The car I'm in's good. I think I can do this. But he's just, every lap, he's just taking out 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 1 tenth, and you have to push yourself further and further and further. It's really difficult. I think that's exactly where Lando Norris is right now. He's having to push himself further than Max Verstappen out of his comfort zone. But this is where drivers, you become faster by racing the best. This will be great sort of track knowledge for Lando Norris. How consistent can he be? Edibles. Another channel just got copyright from F1. Be careful. Which channel was that? Deary me. That's where you got to hit the subscribe button. 3,000 people watching. By the way, after this race stream, we are going to a live premiere of me doing a Formula E grid walk behind the scenes, full access. You don't want to miss it if you're curious about that sort of stuff. Meanwhile, Sergio Perez looked to be racing with Lewis Hamilton. It wasn't a lap car. Oh, Hamilton forces him round the... Oh, my word. Almost a massive crash. How did Hamilton get back again? How did Hamilton get back ahead of Sergio Perez? Unless that was George Russell who pitted. It must have been George Russell. Sorry, my bad. The blue helmet of George Russell holding up Sergio Perez. Wow, George Russell playing really nice second driver there. We're in it's dangerous times. Dangerous times, everyone. People are getting yeeted. We're living on the edge here. Living on the edge. So George Russell really holding up Sergio Perez. There might even have been contact between them, because Sergio Perez only 5 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton started this race in P1. Sergio Perez, I think, started down in P7. Meanwhile, George Russell, I said it could be really bad for Russell, and it is. He's behind Nico Hulkenberg. He's in 14th place for George Russell. Oh, he's barely gained when you compare him to Sergio Perez. That a horror show for George Russell in Q1 yesterday. Really got caught out by the new regulations, or the one-off regulations, had to run the hard tyre. Finishing in P18, just could not do it on the last lap. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton was in the same position as it happened. Hello from Suriname. Lots of very good footballers from Suriname. Boy, oh boy, he is British. Has George Russell been on the radio? Edible straws, bro. Look. Edible straws. Game changer. Carlos Sainz, faster to 1, and Sergio Perez, fastest man on track, and the McLarens are just falling off the back of Verstappen here. Verstappen is dangerously close to getting a free pit stop on Piastri. I think he already has a free pit stop on Hamilton. I've got to be honest. He's already managed to get a free pit stop. Hello from Oman. Jimmy Floyd Hasselback. I was thinking more like Edgar Davids, Clarence Seedorf. Russell Bottas Hamilton forward. Yeah. Finally, Russell's being a number 2 driver properly. Hello from the UK. Damn. Damn, son. I got a bad feeling about this stream. I got a bad feeling. Meanwhile, Daniel Ricciardo's in the pits again. A 2.9 second stop. That's a disaster for Daniel Ricciardo. I don't know who had P18 and Ricciardo roulette. Please, please, please. If we're going to get we're not infringing any copyright here. This is all being cleared with Formula Watchy directly. But hit that subscribe button right now, because if we have to go live again, you don't want to miss it. So please, 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 if you're not subscribed, hit it. Notification bell, like button, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, you don't get the edible straw content anywhere else. Perez has been on the radio to Perez and saying just reel him in. Oh no, my screen's broken. But Perez is fastest man on track. That is going to be a battle with Lewis Hamilton. Oh god. There we go. I might fall down. Who gets to ban the stream element? Hello from Uganda. Wow, we're getting all the African nations here. I love it. It's like the African Nations Cup. Lewis said he needs 2 more seconds. Close-up bite of the straw. 3... God, imagine if that had been stuck in my moustache all that time. Like how bad that would be. 300... Ah, no. 400 likes and I bite the straw. I do a big bite of the straw. This must be what like having an OnlyFans. So, Verstappen is 7 seconds ahead of Lando Norris here, and he's turning the wick. In fact, the McLarens look to be struggling a little bit at this part of the race. Even George Russell is lapping pretty much on McLaren pace all the way down there. Look at Guanyu, Zhou, Nico, Hulkenberg. All that crew are really struggling in the 126s. They are having a real bad time. But George Russell, he's on the freshest compound. He's the last person to pit. And Alex Albon's in the pits again. Hang on a second. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is big news. This is big news. Alex Albon was the first person to go on the hard tyre. Verstappen saying the tyre feels a bit more stiff. It's easy to have a moment. Alex Albon was the first driver to make his pit stop to go onto the hard tyre. So I think this is a 2-stop race. I think we're going to see more pit stops in this race. This is going to... Because if Alex Albon comes out and starts doing 1 minute 22s, everyone is going to need to pit, otherwise they're going to get undercut. So that's what I think. Because we're not even halfway through this race. I'm going to see what they're going to put on. Presumably another set of hards for Alex Albon. Hards till the end. Yeah, another set of hards for Alex Albon. Keep an eye on the lap times for Albon here. And remember, George Russell might be able to do a 1-stop. Welcome, Lukas from Poland. Zen Dobre to our Polish friends. Hello from Ian, Susanna, Rob and Lisa, driving from Northern Line to Dublin and then flying home to Abu Dhabi. That sounds like a hell of a journey to the Mason crew. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, copy that.
Let us know who you're all supporting. Do you all support the same driver as a crew? Or do you all have your own... It's like, does Susanna like... Susanna's a massive Lando fan. But like Rob's all about Hamilton. How many laps left? We are... there are 37 laps to go. Because we are 33 laps in. Keep an eye on the pace here for Alex Albon. That is going to be critical. In fact, George Russell is basically doing a 1-stop. I don't think... can Verstappen do a 1-stop as well? If push comes to shove? Is it raining? It's not raining on track now. Berzan's from Yorkshire. Welcome along, everyone. Hello from France. Bonjour. Je m'appelle un jardin. Does that mean I have... No, that's... That means I'm called a garden. Hello from Saudi Arabia. I'm looking at the Albon pace and also the Ricciardo pace as well, because Ricciardo's converted to a 2-stop. Well, maybe he was always on a 2-stop, you know what I mean. But George Russell at the moment is lapping almost 2 seconds quicker than Oscar Piastri. That must have been a bad lap for Piastri. But he is lapping 2 seconds quicker than the Ferraris. 1.5 seconds quicker than the Ferraris. My maths is really bad. Welcome, youngster from Singapore. Welcome along. We do this every race. If you're new here, you want to hit that subscribe button. Help us grow. And after this race, we're going live straight to a premiere of me doing an actual Formula E grid walk last week at Rome. You don't want to miss it. Exclusive access. If you love motorsport, all things motorsport. Greetings from Chicago. Russell fastest lap. So what has Russell got ahead of him? He's got Valtteri Bottas 1 second ahead. Presumably he's going to dispatch Valtteri Bottas fairly quickly. And then he'll get into the Aston Martins. And he might even catch the Ferraris at this pace. Because George Russell is a man on the move. The sweatiest man. I think George Russell will be aiming for a P6 in this race. Philippines, Texas. Rohit says Namaste from India. Namaste to you as well.
Just gained by Williams.
No worries, Ian Mason. Yeah, here we go. Lucas, Pollen, Sagar, No Limits, Martin Heaney, Carlu. Carlu sounds like a great Brazilian prodigy footballer. Jason Lopez, Sabari, Tikli, Enri, and Sivenathi Jugu. Welcome along, everyone, from the whole wide world. In our hands. Max Verstappen setting a fast sector 1 from him in the 29s. That's very quick. Hang on a second. Max Verstappen is turning the wick here. Trying to have a look what's going on in terms of... Can Perez do a one-stop? Can Perez do a one-stop? I mean, this is all about tyre deck, this race. It looks to be on the verge between one-stop and two stops. What do you think is wrong with the Ferraris? I think the Ferraris are struggling. The tyres must be overheating. It must be overheating on the tyres. Humble says, what's happened with Ricciardo's race? He had a very bad start. He got tangled in the accident that took out both Alpines. Although I have to say, for Daniel Ricciardo, he's only 12 seconds behind Max in the 14th. I predicted he would come 14th. He's 12 seconds behind Lance Stroll in the pits, Logan Sargent in the pits. Here we go. Here come the pit stops. They're going to go up the grid like that. I think Ricciardo could still have a good race here. Could still have a decent race. Nice one, Dina. Ian says, we're a Hamilton, Russell and Lando car. That sounds like fun. Sounds like that meme in Zoolander in the back. Need to create that meme. Just having a look here as a replay, George Russell, he goes up the side of the Alfa Romeo. It must be Valtteri Bottas. Yes. So as we predicted, George Russell making short work of Valtteri Bottas. And in fact, Lance Stroll's pitted. So Lance Stroll, I mean, look how much Lance Stroll's lost out there. Lance Stroll's had an absolute disaster. I don't even think it was a slow pit stop. I think the undercut is just really powerful. If you're on an aggressive two-stop here, who's on the most aggressive two-stop? It's Alex Albon. Everyone ahead of Alex Albon needs to pit. Alex Albon is looking really strong. I think Guanyu Zhou was involved and Daniel Ricciardo was involved and the Alpines took out each other. It was all very messy. Do you think Max will go fastest lap? If Max had a free pit stop, I think so. If he has another 22 seconds. I think what's interesting now, the most interesting thing for me now is, does Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri box now and try and get a big undercut? I just don't think the maths adds up. I don't think the maths adds up. I really don't. But you know what I mean? Like, if Lando could pit now and start taking a second out of lap out of Max, he would force Max to pit earlier. You know, McLaren hold a few cards here if it was poker because I've got two cards up there. Two cards. I got that the wrong way around, didn't I? Welcome to Jamaica, Australia as well. Sabri just says F1. Sue says hello, Chu. Oh yeah, Guanyu Zhou got a penalty and he had a really bad pit stop as well, but he was fastest man on track at one point. Offbeat says undercut does make sense, but I want to see, is someone going to get in the 121s? Remember, the fastest lap from qualifying was a 1:16, so there's a lot more pace in this cars to come. But Alex Albon is really struggling here. I was hoping he was going to go in the one... I say he's in the Williams. But he's only 4 seconds behind Lance Stroll. So Lance Stroll and Albon have pitted. George Russell's basically pitted because I think he's one of the few drivers who's going to do a one-stop. So George Russell is not going to get overtaken by anyone behind, I think. Perez is probably on a one-stop as well because Perez pitted late. The Ferraris are going to have to pit again. So the Ferraris are in big trouble here. They're in big trouble. Nice one, Jeff. Why are Alfa Romeo suddenly so quick? The midfield's really weird this season. It's really weird midfield. So if a track suits your car, you can be at the top of the midfield. And the top of the midfield is basically third. So Mike says Guanyu Zhou caused the accident. Welcome TK from Canada. But man, who did I predict my podium? By the way, let me know now, what's your podium prediction right now? We're halfway through the race, 38 laps. What's your prediction? Is anyone going to predict anything other than Verstappen, Norris, Piastri? The luckiest driver, it's not luck, but you know what I mean. Lando Norris overtaking Piastri by virtue of an undercut is huge in the context of this race. Huge, huge, huge. But it looks like Lando might have had the pace anyway. So McLaren won't have been too disappointed by how that came out. And they is from the Antarctic. Very nice. 400 likes and we bite off another chunk of the edible straw. What if it's not actually edible, but I'm just pretending it is? I'm just biting off something that's not edible just for likes. Snowline saying Max an astronaut. Lucas saying I hope Perez is going to be at least 3, but not possible. Rohit, Verstappen, Perez, Norris. Keith saying as it stands. Max, Verstappen, Perez, Norris. Sissy saying Max, Norris, Hamilton. Oh, well, hang on. Whoa. No. Hang on, Perez is only 1 second behind Hamilton. Hamilton needs to pit again. Perez... This could be a Red Bull 1-2. Has anyone said Verstappen Perez in the chat? Yeah, Nostuji Verstappen Perez. Excuse me, brah. What's up with those Zoolander references? Chat. This is going to be a Red Bull 1-2, I'm telling you. Have a look at this. Perez is going to overtake Hamilton. And I think Perez is on a 1-stop. Oh, no, because Perez started on the hards. So can Perez make that medium go to the end? Can Perez make the medium go to the end? Ooh. Alex Albon overtaking Kevin Magnussen, by the way. Danny... Oh, Ricciardo's out! No, Ricciardo's out! Oh, no, he's not. He's been lapped. It just shows... It's greyed out because he's been lapped. That's what's happened. They've been lapped. That's how that works. Hang on, maybe Perez isn't completely in the pound seats. Because... Welcome, Vigo. No way, Stephen. Could be a Red Bull 1-2, though, I still think. Sergio Perez, Sergio Perez is just playing on max difficulty. Like, he's deliberately making quality difficult for himself to have a more fun race. He's doing like I do in Gran Turismo when I stream Gran Turismo. It's like a last to first challenge. It's like, okay, let's spice up a little bit. Do last to first. Tian says, no way a medium tyre lasts 35 laps in these conditions. Well, Sergio Perez is a tyre whisperer. Remember his win in Bahrain for Force India. Jason says Perez for the win because Max and Lando crash. We will see. Whoa, welcome everyone. Alex, Mudshit, Warren, Jason, Peter, Sabri, Chatty, Anki, Terrence, Coldev, Shrikad and Warren Wakefield. The 2 dubs. Dub. Yeah, Perez is on the old account here. But we're just waiting, I think, for the next slew of pit stops. Nico Hulkenberg looks like he might have got... No, Hulkenberg must be in the pits. Why is Hulkenberg dropping down so much? Is she for Hulkenberg or in the pits? Have a look at the standings there. We've seen the Haas blow up this season before. Is he going to drop behind? What is going on? What is and Ricciardo overtaking Magnussen? Hang on, what's going on at the back of the grid here? Ricciardo up to P14, dangerously close to the points. Keep an eye. Maybe there's a big battle. You can see on the track map thing, by the way. What's going on? African goes another watcher from Namibia. Welcome along. I don't know what happened at the back there, but it looks like big drama. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton is Sergio Perez all over the back of him here. Really not what you want to see in the rear view of Lewis Hamilton if you're a Lewis Hamilton fan. But the Mercedes seem to be struggling with the heat. We saw that even when they dominated in F1. Sometimes they were struggling in the hot conditions. Oh, 400 light are going to bite to a bit of the straw. Here we go. That's not an optical illusion. Just bit off the edible straw. Edible straws, game changer. In fact, I'm going to do merch. My merchandise on this channel is going to be edible straws. It comes out everywhere, though. Welcome F1 fan and Pranav as well. Killer saying Hamilton 44 win. Valtteri Bottas in the pits as well. That promotes Alex Albon. Lance Stroll's pitted. Yuki Tsunoda, I think, still needs to pit. And Fernando Alonso. Yeah, Tsunoda will... Oh, well, Tsunoda need to pit. How does Tsunoda go so far on those soft tyres? What? Did Tsunoda go to lap 34 on the softs? Has anyone seen that? That's pretty mad, isn't it? Is a 25-second gap real? I don't know. Welcome to Hamilton Art from Canada. Technically, all straws are edible, yeah. I mean, technically, anything is edible. if you try hard enough, anything's edible. It's just a matter of willpower and your stomach. Max will go fastest lap. If he's got the gap, I'm sure they'll go for it. I'm sure they'll go for it. Meanwhile, Sergio Perez still trying to get past Lewis Hamilton. And George Russell is going to be all over the back of Fernando Alonso. But what are the Ferraris going to do here? Are they going to need to pit? We're seeing the two stops sort of filter up. So is it putting people under pressure of an undercut? I don't know. But it looks like the lap times have actually slowed a little bit. I don't know, it's that kind of weird. The lap times are slowing now. People were in the 123s. Right now, it's only Max Verstappen 23s. Max Verstappen, by the way, is stretching his legs. He is showing why he is a one-time world champion. Vlad has got an eye on the lights power. 206 on the LP8 front. Very, very nice. Thanks, Vladka. Philadelphia in the house from Billy B. Is it raining in Budapest? No, it isn't. You got the live map down there, satellite map. Just a game image, yeah. Welcome, Dale G. Doing it for Dale. Hoping for McLaren may could happen. Will we see any reliability issues for the Red Bull? Tian says some of these guys started on hards and pitted before the halfway mark for mediums. I doubt Perez takes the mediums. Perez and Piastri in the pits. Perez, Piastri in the pits. Wow. This time, Piastri is going to get an undercut on Charles Leclerc, but it's too late. It's too late because he's too far behind. There we go. So that means it's going to be a two-stop for everyone, apart from... There's going to be a two-stop for everyone. It's a two-stop race. It's a two-stop race. Perez is going to undercut Hamilton. Perez has just undercut Hamilton here. There we go. A 1.9 second stop. I think that's the fastest pit stop all season. A 1.9 second stop. They pulled in the car. He stopped and they changed all four tyres. Like that. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And it's a big stop as well because that's for the undercut. Whoa, whoa, we don't do the language like that. That's going to be a timeout. Record pit stop, I think, isn't it? I think 2.1 was the fastest. That is a world record pit stop by Red Bull on the Perez. No, you're saying I thought there was a minimum. I don't think there is. I think other championships like, you know, WEC, Formula E, when they do it, they have a minimum stop. I don't think there is in Formula 1. I don't think there's a minimum. They talked about it. Hamilton's in P3, but I wouldn't be too happy if you know how this... If you're understanding what we're talking about, that's bad news for Lewis Hamilton. It's bad news unless Perez gets held up by Piastri. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Is Leclerc coming in there? Well, not on my... Yes, he is coming in. My bad. Charles Leclerc is coming in. Will he undercut Carlos Sainz? Remember, Leclerc had a really bad stop in the first stop. Hang on a second. I don't know. Is there a 2-second minimum pit stop? You guys and girls let me know. Because that will be a 5-second time penalty. For sure then. Unless it was 1.99 and it's some issue on the TV one. So I doubt the TV one is the official one. Slower stop for Fernando Alonso, 3.9 seconds, I believe. That's like 2 Red Bull stops. Red Bull could stat American. You know what I mean. Lewis Hamilton up to P2 because Lando Norris pitted. So is Hamilton going to try and go on a 1-stop? Is there a prize here to try and go on a 1-stop? Meanwhile, Verstappen just can do what he wants, frankly. Welcome Collins and Dale and Roger. There's no penalty. Abalash, Jaden, Costas. There's no minimum pit stop. Okay. African Ghost saying Max is a one-time world champion. I forget. Lando pit stop looked to be fairly in regulation. 2.1 seconds. That's very quick. And as you were with Norris and Piastri there, And Perez is now, well, is he going to get held up by Oscar Piastri? But Hamilton is going to get brutally undercut. I mean, look at the difference. 22.9 for Sergio Perez versus 24.4. Why have they not pitted Lewis Hamilton? Hamilton might be at risk here of the Ferraris. Is Hamilton going to be at risk of George Russell? We'll have to see. If they're going to be 2 seconds a lap, only takes 5 laps and you've lost 10 seconds. Desmond said Perez is a good driver. He just has some bad luck. Baby. Anki, it's crazy to see that nearly half of the grid is lapped. Yep, it is mad pace. It's mad pace. Considering qualifying is like almost within a second these days. Oh, very slow stop for Aston Martin there. That must have been Lance Stroll. Good camaraderie afterwards though. They're not congratulating. They're supporting the mechanic who might have made a mistake there. But, was that Alonso or Stroll? No, that must have been Alonso stop, actually. Not that bad, 3.9. Not world ending. By the way, 4,000 people watching. If you're not subscribed, you know to hit the subscribe button. If you are subscribed, double check you've got notifications on. After the stream, we're going to go straight live into a premiere where I take you behind the scenes. I do a grid walk in Formula E on the actual grid of, you know, of the Rome E Prix. So, pretty big deal. Really excited to share it with you. That is premiering after this video. Don't need to go anywhere. Sergio Perez, meanwhile, 122.6. And you can see George Russell and Verstappen and Hamilton, the only drivers who are still currently on a one-stop. Oh, Charles Leclerc speeding in the pit lane. I saw him lock up on the way in. He had a big lock up on the way in there. So Charles Leclerc, that could be a 5-second penalty to be applied at the end of the race. That's bad news for Leclerc, because a 5-second might put him behind Carlos Sainz. Really frustrating for Ferrari. Shooting themselves in the foot once again with the bad stop at the beginning and now speeding in the pit lane. Charles speeding in pit lane. Yeah, chat, you got it. You got it. Bjorn saying 3.9 is hella bad. I think it's bad, but it's not disaster. Hamilton saying we'll pick up the pace, keep as pace as you can. Hamilton saying this is as fast as I can go. So Hamilton's not a happy man. Not a happy hamster in that Mercedes right now. Meanwhile, Lando Norris, hang on a second. Lando Norris is a second quicker than Max Verstappen. What is going on there? What is going on? Lando Norris is technically undercutting Max Verstappen. Does Verstappen have a free pit stop? Yes, he does. He doesn't actually. Yeah, he does have a free pit stop now because everyone else pitted. Meanwhile, Perez and Piastri are together. Oh no! Sergio Perez puts Piastri in the grass. Piastri keeps going, so Sergio Perez overtakes Piastri. Terrible news for Piastri there. Meanwhile, Norris in the pits as well. So Oscar Piastri is not going to finish on the podium of this race. This is Red Bull domination. I think it's going to be a Red Bull 1-2. I'm calling it. Lap 48 out of 70. There are 22 laps to go. I think the money would be on a 1-2 for Verstappen and Perez. What happened to Daniel Ricciardo? A really good race. He's in P13. If you have a look at Ricciardo Roulette we played earlier, by the way, so you don't miss out next time, we play Ricciardo Roulette. You can see here, you can put your numbers on the board, and we'll check that out at the end of the race. Who won Ricciardo Roulette? But yeah, Oscar Piastri put into the grass. Will that be a penalty for Perez? What do we think? Darcy Rose got the black heart out for Mercedes. Charles Leclerc gets the penalty. That'll be a 5-second penalty for speeding, I believe, into the pit lane. That's not how it works, Charles. He'll be furious. Meanwhile, George Russell has just pitted, so he's going to be on very fresh tyres. But he needs to overtake Sainz and Leclerc. Well, he doesn't need to overtake Leclerc now with penalty, but you know what I mean. Fastest sector 1 for George Russell. Meanwhile, where does Lewis Hamilton come out when he boxes? Is Lewis Hamilton going to come out? He's going to come out ahead of Charles Leclerc, I believe. Bangray, remember 7-time champion, then talk about the rest. Crown says Max is nobody. His car is rocket. Max, you is nobody. His car is rocket. Let's keep the language clean in the chat. Family stream here. If we're adults, we just don't need to swear. We can do it. Did Perez force Piastri out of track? I'm not sure he did, Lucas. I'm not sure he was forced out. We'll have to see. But people keep saying race control needs to be a penalty for Perez. It will probably be investigated. McLaren will be on the radio. But I feel like there was a car's width there. White Lotus wants to see Danny Ricciardo in the points. We will see. Gordon Samtani says Perez needs a penalty. Yeah, having a look here at the lockup on the way in. Unfortunately, it is. I hate using this phrase. I hate using it. But it is a rookie error. It's a sort of thing that in your rookie season you can get. But after that, you should just know, give yourself a bit of margin. Right, it's instant noted. Instant noted, Piastri and Perez forcing a car off the track. So we will see. Welcome Edward Chua, Brian, Shally, LA Adebisi, Des, Kwaku, and THC. Timmy's saying it was just a racing incident. Which team do I support? As a racing driver myself, I just like seeing racing drivers drive fast. Reviewed, no further investigation. No further investigation. Undercut means you pit earlier, you get on the faster tyre, and the car you were racing is stuck on a slower tyre. When they come in, you've gained time and you overtake them when they're in the pits. That's an undercut. I have a whole video on it, actually, on this channel. In Formula 1 Manager. I explain what an undercut is. Is Hamilton on fresh? Hamilton's in the pits. I'm having a look now. You can see on your screen there in the timings. Comes in. What's he going to go on to here with 20 laps to go? Is it going to be mediums or hards? It's going to be mediums. Hamilton mediums to the end. 2.8 second stop. And he comes out ahead of Charles Leclerc. And can he now get into Oscar Piastri on a fresh set of mediums? Meanwhile, is Sergio Perez going to overtake Lando Norris? When is Max Verstappen going to pit? Does he need to? Can he just go to the end? He's got a 34-second gap, but presumably they will pit him quite late onto maybe softs, easily get a fastest lap because he's got so much margin. That's what I suspect. Lap question, we are on lap 50 out of 70. Offbeat says, how long does a pit stop take in general? About between 2 to 3 seconds is a really good stop. And then the whole pit loss depends on where the pit lane is and what you're cutting out. But normally about 20 seconds is a whole thing. It depends. The teams will know exactly how much it is. And to be honest, I should really know for every track. Paul Walker. Oh, Paul Walker's back from the dead. Verstappen strikes against Hamilton. Welcome back, Paul Walker. Gordon is saying Checo should be replaced. Do you think Sergio Perez should be in the Red Bull next season? Maybe this is the start of a redemption for Sergio Perez. Liam says 21 second Hungarian. Carly says stop saying undercut. Why can't I say undercut? What's wrong with saying undercut? Why don't you like me saying undercut? Carlu, let me know what specifically about undercut you don't like me saying, and I'll stop trying to say undercut if you don't like undercuts.
Yeah.
What type of racing do I do? Kart racing. I also race a lot on this channel in stream in sim racing. Tell you what, we'll do one F1 live stream. I'll wear my helmet. Max Verstappen, meanwhile, in the pits. You called it in the chat. What tyre is he going to go on to here? We will see. Comes in on the hards. Can he go softs or mediums? Presumably he'll go mediums and bank that fastest lap. So keep an eye on some purple sectors from Max Verstappen. Comes in. They don't rush it too much. It is probably a 2.4 or something. 2.6, I think. Second stop there for Max Verstappen. Lewis says yes. Welcome GW, Mr. 10B and Bint. Vigo, Perez needs to make a comeback. Markify, can you stop saying anything other than undercut? 100% undercut commentary, please. I see you, Mark. I know what you're doing. Anonymous. Oh, thanks, CJ, for the 50k. You guys and girls, you made the 50,000 subscribers possible. And because of you watching this and subscribing, we get to go to real-world motorsport events, and I get to take you behind the scenes like we're going to see in the premiere. So you guys and girls, by just hitting that subscribe button, and so many of you have done it already, absolute legends, you make all this possible. It's more than just me sitting in my loft doing this. There's a whole thing about going to real world motorsport events, interviewing drivers, getting you guys an access. You make it possible. Thank you so much. Anonymous, goddamn, I was rooting for Piastri to get his first podium. I don't think I've hated Perez more, but I'm Australian. Go Daniel Rick too. Daniel in red. What do you think? You think Daniel for Ferrari? Oh, well, really good race here for Daniel Ricciardo so far. He's only 3 seconds behind Alex Albon. So it doesn't take too much to get Daniel Ricciardo in the points here. Lucas says Norris P2. I think keep an eye on Sergio Perez. Keep an eye on the... Oh, Keith Bennett gifting a membership straight to Snow Lion. Thank you so much, Keith Bennett. The support from Australia in the stream has been absolutely insane. Snow Lion with the gifted membership. Get your claps out in the chat, everyone. For Keith Bennett and Snow Lion. 2 ever presents in the F1 stream. Love to see it. Lap 53 out of 70, by the way. And Alex Albon is under pressure here from Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo all over Alex Albon. Yes, you melt. T says she make it clap. What? What are you talking about? Yeah, if an undercut happens... Oh, here we go. Here's the max lap. The max lap is about to happen. What's it going to be? Put your predictions in. I'm going to say it's going to be a 121.8. 121.6. 121.6 lap for Verstappen. That's what I think it's going to be. Oh my god, it's a 120.5. This whole thing is just a farce. This whole thing is a sham. That is the Red Bull pace right there. A 120.5. Jesus Christ. It's 4 seconds quicker than Alex Albon. It's 2 seconds quicker than the Ferraris. My god. I tell you, Max and Red Bull, they got pace in reserve. They got pace in reserve. I honestly think Red Bull will be annoyed that he went so quickly, because that exposes just how much quicker the Red Bull is. Please don't blaspheme. Who are you? A priest? I think they would have wanted to go like a 121. That just is way too quick. That shows that they're sandbagging. Like, my big conspiracy theory, right? My massive conspiracy theory in Formula 1 is that they've agreed with Sergio Perez to mess everything up so it looks like Red Bull aren't that dominant. And Sergio's getting a big paycheck. He's like, okay, that's cool. But I think Red Bull are like 4 seconds quicker. And like, not in the qualifying pace, but in like race pace. And like they're doing the Perez like absolute, shambolic stuff to take the scrutiny away. Red Bull pranking. The power of Red Bull compels you. No blaspheming in chat. If I see anyone blaspheme, they'll be held to pay. Oh no! No! Dean, I'm sorry, but F1 is getting boring. Bring back manual gearboxes. Well, they're not automatic, mate. Welcome, Yasio, Theodorus, Eric, and Mighty Buganish. What's the current record at Hungary? I don't actually know the current record at Hungary. Gotta be honest. Sandbagging means like you pretend that you're slower than you are. Mercedes used to do it when they were dominating, so the regulations don't get changed too much. So you always know you can win the race by turning stuff up, but you don't show that pace all the time. Welcome, live track. I told you Red Bull 70%. Just say yee-haw. Verstappen lap time deleted, yes! Verstappen lap time deleted. Scratch that. He's got to do it all over again. It must have been track limits. 15 laps to go, by the way. Lap 55 out of 70. Hamilton will get a Piastri by lap 63. Wow, that's a very precise prediction there. You on the Mercedes pit wall? No, that's not a diamond weight loss. Why deleted? He would have gone over the white lines. We'll have to do it again. Someone's gone for... I mean, Hamilton's at 121.6 now. Miskos says it's boring to see Verstappen winning all the time. That's how Formula 1 goes, you know? Liam says Albon brakes not looking good. Lots of dust ejected at T1. We will see. Thanks, Liam. Icha says, let's go, Lando. We can be world champion. Lando. You got progressively angrier. and like more frantic there. Will Max pit for fresh softs? Yeah, they were like, Max, build another 20 seconds, please. Need to go on softs again. 120 Max is not a human. It never happened though. It's been deleted. Been deleted from the records. George Russell into the... If George Russell can get ahead of Sainz, he can then manage the gap to Leclerc because he knows Leclerc's got a penalty. Uday says, how come Aston Martin's speed gone? I think there's a development war going on, and I think Aston Martin might be good at really sort of downforce circuit. Oh, this is quite a downforce circuit. Mark John says, sandbagging is worse than undercutting. Undercutting isn't that, but I quite like undercuts. In fact, undercuts are some of my favourite techniques. I like undercuts. Undercuts are good. Key says, do you think it's the Max's talent or the Red Bull car or time in the sim? Sounds like that question. Gentlemen, a short view back to the past. Niki Lauda once said, put a trained monkey in the cockpit of a car and he can drive it. Go back 3 months, Nico Rosberg said, this car is like a computer. Oh, how's it go? What would you prefer? Less computers and more power to the drivers, or more... Someone put it in the chat. I think it's about time to see Lando win. Max must be getting bored of this now. Can't be that much fun. Tell you what, I can tell you winning is never boring. Winning is never boring. When you're in a really competitive sport, you never get bored of winning. I never regret the moments I've been in sim racing where I've been winning. Hamilton's all over the back of Oscar Piastri. In fact, he's overtaking him. It happened at turn 1, up the inside, goes bad to worse for Piastri. Seeing a bit of a resurgence here for the Mercedes car. So what's going to happen for P2? With 13 laps to go, are we going to... A safety car be very tasty here, by the way. Very tasty. Snowline, every man for himself. Dean, who do you think is the best driver ever? Very difficult to say. Very difficult to say. I think there's a class of people like Hamilton, Schumacher, Prost, Senna, Fangio, Lauda. Verstappen's definitely in that, by the way, in that crew. You know, and a load of other like champions, like obviously, Jim Clark. Oh. Edible straws, man. I'm not sure Alonso's in that crew. I'm not sure Alonso. In fact, I missed out Vettel as well. Sean Smith's done the research. Amazing, Sean. Let us know what the results were. Welcome, Leon's first time listener and now sub. Great stream. Saving me while I'm missing the race due to work. Question. Do you see anyone catching Red Bull this year or next? Need to provide pressing. As I said, I think they have lots of pace in reserve. The way Formula 1 tends to go is that you have these big tectonic changes in performance. Whoever's got the regulations correct can just iterate on that. Mercedes got the hybrid turbo era, the hybrid era correct. They clearly sandbagged a lot because we saw when Rosberg and Hamilton went head to head, then we saw the performance of the car. And I think Red Bull this season, they don't care about being dominant. They don't actually care that much being dominant in terms of like PR, because there's been so much domination of Mercedes. I don't think people that yet generally are that bored of Verstappen dominating. In 2 or 3 seasons' time, they will be, and the benefit to Red Bull dominating, they might actually get some like there'll be a negative part of that as well. People are like, oh, Red Bull just dominating, F1's boring. But right now, I think they clearly have a lot of pace in reserve. I just can't quite place the Perez thing. It's very handy for Red Bull that Perez is like qualifying like in last place and things like that, isn't it? You should have a graphic saying hand laps. So feel free to make it, my man. We're on lap 59. 59.
The rain's ending.
Lewis, you got the new member thing. Very nice. 88 Kirith, will Lewis come in the podium? No. I think it's more likely that Sergio Perez is going to get P2. Sergio Perez is only 2 seconds behind Lando Norris, and he just took out 4 tenths alone in Sector 1. Have a look at the battle between Perez and Norris. Meanwhile, did Verstappen get the lap time deleted or not? I don't know. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he did not. Either which way, he definitely has the fastest lap of the race. Now, lots of people found it boring when Lewis was winning. Lots of people found it boring. I think it turned a lot of people off F1. Verstappen has... I'll say this very clearly. Verstappen has the fastest lap. That's what's happening. Key saying Perez is saving his seat with this race. Wow. Oh man, Sergio Perez is destroying half a second in Sector 2. This is going to get ugly. Sergio Perez is going to eat Lando Norris for breakfast here. It's going to be brutal. Why do you think Ferrari isn't doing well now? I think maybe the car just hasn't evolved. They had that big upgrade in Catalonia. They did get Carlos Sainz. The straw's all soggy. 600 likes and I eat the straw. 600 likes and I take the straw out and I just eat it, whether it's edible or not. Welcome Aditya, new to the channel. Good to have you, by the way. Norris with some bacon in the car. Thanks Clack D, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Black said either Red Bull used some crazy AI and engineering team to that car. Well, they also breached the cost cap, didn't they? Cost cap champions. Sergio Perez is going to catch Lando Norris. It depends how hard they're going to fight, by the way. And Daniel Ricciardo is in P13. He's only 4 seconds off Alex Albon in P11. Oh, welcome everyone. Oh my god. Sorry for the blasphemy there. Welcome Ababal, Dembe, For the Casuals, Pizza, Diamond, Xerxes, Elena, Patricia, Aziza, Casper, Urban Fishing Netherlands, Adita, Tude, and Will. Welcome everyone to the channel. I'm not Super GT. Hello viewers. Warm welcome to all the new subscribers. Yes indeed, if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. You won't recommend it. You won't regret it. 9 laps to go, by the way, but the battle I'm keeping an eye on here is Sergio Perez to Lando Norris. Could this be the race that saves Sergio? Maybe Daniel Ricciardo having a good race is sort of putting the pressure on Sergio Perez. It's forcing Sergio Perez to actually having to do something here. Is this based on live race data? This is a live stream, yes. Hamilton is a real goat. Hamilton is a real goat. Okay. We can get the how are the Hamilton fans feeling? Wait a second. Oh, where's Hamilton gone? Did I delete it? Oh, there we go. How are Hamilton fans feeling? Is Hamilton catching Perez? Is Hamilton catching Perez? Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Hamilton could be catching Perez here.
Okay, that is the end of the race. Okay.
People smashing the love hearts in the chat. Awesome. Love to see it. Love to see it. Do we think Hamilton can catch? 8 laps to go, and Norris is now trying to get away from Perez. In fact, I think Hamilton is catching Sergio Perez. Maybe Sergio Perez has boiled the tyres a little bit. That might have happened. Is the chat broken, or have I broken the chat? I think I've broken the chat. Hang on. Or we just all like really well behaved? Is the stream broken? Is the chat broken? I think we broke live stream chat. Oh god, I've actually got... Oh, I keep blaspheming. Oh dear. I've got to actually do commentary. Oh, there we go. Chat's broken. Yeah. We broke chat, everyone. Good job. We broke YouTube. Nice job. Anyone suffering from mental health issues, there's a link as well. Don't fight alone. I'm sure out of 1,000 chat there will be. So keep an eye on Lewis Hamilton with 7 laps to go, almost in the 121s, a second and almost 2 seconds quicker than Lando Norris, and he's only 10 seconds behind, and there's 7 laps to go. So Lewis Hamilton is really on the move right now, on the fresh. Maybe people deep on the mediums are struggling. Yeah, I can read it now, Anki. I can read it. I can read it. Maximum points for Max Verstappen once again. Nothing gets past you, Ruin Henning. You are the stats master. Lewis Hamilton is going to go sub 7 seconds for Sergio Perez. It'll start getting a slipstream benefit. Remember, he needs to be in DRS. 6 point. Oh, hang on a second. What on earth is going on here? Hang on. Lewis Hamilton could still come P2 in this race. Which car would I choose? I'd be in the Red Bull, probably. Yeah, Dieter, hang on. Whoa, this could be quite an interesting end to this race. We're on a lap 64 out of 70. Perez went for Norris. Might have really, I don't know, grained the tyres up or something. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton's on fresher tyres. Keep an eye on the sector times. 122.4 for Lewis Hamilton last time. Is a second and a half quicker than Sergio Perez. It's not 600 likes, it's 500 likes for me. I know we've got 5,000 viewers. By the way, following this stream, we are going to go to a live premiere of me giving you behind the scenes on a Martin Brundle grid walk in Rome for the Rome E-Prix. So if you like motorsport, you don't want to miss it. Going to be great. Really privileged to be able to do that. Oh, 6. Okay, I can eat the straw now. God, it's all good. Ah, damn, it's all going off. Oh, it's all like...
Too hot.
You know what? It's not even edible. I'm just eating it like it is. Hammer time, baby. It is hammer time. Hang on. Here we go. It's hammer time for the hamster. 5.7 seconds. He is going to be pushing it 5.4 seconds. Still a second a lap quicker than Sergio Perez. There are 5 laps to go. Let me know in the chat. Do you think Lewis Hamilton's going to get on the podium here? Does the hamster still have it? Has he still got what it takes? Badgraph saying 8-time world champion. Not everyone's cup of tea. It's hammer time. Get your hammers in the chat. Chat, get your hammers in. Irons. Get your hammers in the chat. It's hammer time, everyone. Meanwhile, George Russell's all over the back of Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz goes very defensive on the pit straight. George Russell goes straight round the outside there. And now he's only 1 second from jumping Charles Leclerc when Leclerc gets his 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. 4.4 seconds is the gap from Hamilton to Perez. This is great news for Norris, solidifying a P2. Look at this. Hammer time in the chat for sure. It's hammer time. People saying not enough laps left, but there's 5 laps to go. And he's still a second a lap quicker. This could come down to the last lap. This could come down. How many laps left? There are 5 laps to go. George Russell's happy on the radio saying, yeah, baby, his overtake on Carlos Sainz. So we could be looking at a P3 and a P6 here for Mercedes. George Russell's only 5 tenths away from getting that P6 once Leclerc gets his 5-second penalty applied at the end of the race. Got the irons in the chat as well. Conference League champs. Pigeon Boy saying not happening. Very exciting. Yes, indeed. 3.8 seconds is the gap. I don't know why Sky aren't showing it. Kind of insane. This is the race right here. Lewis Hamilton, 3.6 seconds. He's coming for Sergio Perez. Payback for Abu Dhabi 2021, maybe. Warren, don't get me wrong, I support all British drivers, but Hamilton fanboys make me dislike him. Come on, Perez, your future lies in this. Phoenix saying Hambro will bottle it. Ragaf, Hamilton is going to win. Liam, the Mercedes works very well at low fuel. Good observation, Liam. Alex, all of you Brits just love Lewis. Yeah, especially me. Especially me. Sandra saying this is it. Lewis versus Perez. It's gonna be close. 3.2 seconds with 3 laps to go. Oh, the rate of progress has stalled a little bit. David says, come on, Pooh is Hamilton. The hell? People supporting Hamilton. Anonymous Daniel Ricciardo with a big statement. First race back with Guanyu being kept as well. Yes, indeed. Big statement from Danny Rick. So this could swing the pendulum away from Sergio Perez. If he gets overtaken here, I mean, Daniel Ricciardo is actually pretty... he's not that close to Bottas anymore. He's dropped off Valtteri Bottas. It's Tsunoda who's very close to Logan Sargent. But he's destroyed Logan Sargent. Daniel Ricciardo has destroyed Yuki Tsunoda in this race. Something that De Vries wasn't really able to do. 2.6 seconds at the lead of the race. 2.6 seconds. PB sector, I believe, for Lewis Hamilton in Sector 2. 7/10 quicker than Sergio Perez. Can he do it? 2.4 seconds in the chat. By the way, if you're enjoying this, if you want to watch this next time, hit that subscribe button right now if you're not subscribed. If you're subscribed, you can just sit back, relax, enjoy the drama. As is it going to go under 2 seconds? Because remember, the all-important gap is 1 second. Welcome Craig Pilgrim, Philomena, Shangy, Toon. Everyone else, what happened to Piastri? Just kind of fell off a little bit. Still a decent result, I have to say, for a rookie. Well, a very good result for a rookie. But considering he was in P2, again, like Silverstone, sort of falling back a little bit. 2.4 seconds now is the gap between Lewis Hamilton and Sergio Perez. How many cars retired? Only Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly. Both of the Alpines retired. Sean, I think Lewis is a good sport, but he is not GOAT. Liam, this chat is a highlight of the F1. Yeah, this is the best way to watch F1, trust me. I've been to the Hungaroring. I've watched Formula 1 at the Hungaroring. This is genuinely a better way to experience a race. You don't need to, like, go back from the circuit afterwards and it's all hot and sweaty and they have to wait for buses. You don't have to do all that stuff. You just sit here in the comfort of wherever you are and we enjoy the race together. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton is going to go sub 2 seconds, but he's running out of laps. Only 2 laps to go. Diamond saying he's not goatee. What lap is this? Sarah Al-Hassawi says it is lap 68 out of 70. And now we go sub 2 seconds. Now we go sub 2 seconds. Unknown user saying Max. Well, a great result from Max, but I have to say the drama here is whether Lewis Hamilton can get it done. Sergio Perez is responding now, though. There's a yellow flag somewhere. Maybe he's been tempting. Amazon saying the striking distance is 1 lap. This could be a last lap thing. I think it's going to be too late. I think it's going to be too late here. I think it's going to be 1 lap too late. They're going around the last corner. No, 2 laps to go. Actually, it might not be too late. You see lap 69, then they've got a complete lap 70 as well. But he won't get DRS for the whole pit straight. No worries, Sarah Al-Hassawi. Defense of Ministry. Logan Sargent has binned it. Logan Sargent's binned it on his own accord. He was having a decent race. Almost takes out, I think, Yuki. Oh my word, almost reversing to Yuki Tsunoda. When you spin, put your foot on the brake. Don't roll back into the traffic. Rookie mistake. He is a rookie though, to be fair. And he's in the pits as well. He's in the pits. Are they going to go for fastest lap? No, they're retiring the car. They're retiring Logan Sargent, but we don't care about that. Lewis Hamilton, sorry, Williams fans and Logan Sargent fans, but just truth hurts, doesn't it? Lewis Hamilton, I don't think is going to get it done. Max Verstappen is on the last lap. Liam says, bring back goatee feet. Fan 2, we've got to keep it real here. Max Verstappen might smash Sebastian Vettel's record. Yeah, Verstappen did not have the best qualifying, but he still qualified P2, and he's dominated the race. By the way, isn't it amazing to be in a group of 5,500 people all over the world with a love of motor racing and Formula 1 and just enjoying it together in a very pure way? But I think it's a little bit too late for Lewis Hamilton. Might look back. Remember that very quick stop for Sergio Perez, 1.9 second stop. In hindsight, that might have been a little bit of the difference. Alex saying Max is an AI. Would you say only Verstappen crash can stop him from winning? He's a different level. He is, as they say, a different gravy. Max Verstappen is going to win the 2023 Qatar Airways. What's going on there? Qatar Airways Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroring with the fastest lap as well. So a maximum of 26 points here for Lewis Hamilton. We do live stream for races as well, and we do go to Motor Racing Live. So we do go to F1 Races Live as well. The Max Verstappen army, the Max time, we get very happy. There he goes. P1 for Verstappen. Had to work for it a little bit harder. He looked very focused coming onto the grid. And Lewis Hamilton, I think, was just in the end a couple of laps. Needed to get in that 1 second. And even then, you got to try and overtake. So unfortunately, couldn't quite work out for Hamilton. Did they box him too late? Well, the later you box, a fresher tyre to have at the end. But did he just get really undercut by Sergio Perez? Great drive from Perez. And Lando Norris, another great result. Another podium, 2 in a row here for McLaren, following up from Silverstone. And Oscar Piastri in P5. I'd be quietly happy with that. McLaren are establishing themselves. When you think that Alpine are also in the midfield, a much better result there for McLaren. McLaren could be back. They've already won the Sponsors World Championship. They're sponsored by Goldman Sachs, for heaven's sake. But now they're doing it on track as well. So P2 for Lando Norris. Interesting strategy in this race. Saw some undercuts be very powerful. Who else? The Ferraris are just in no man's land. P7 and 8. So P7, that 5-second penalty for Charles Leclerc in the end. Oh, not working out for Charles Leclerc there. Thanks Natasha, thanks Sarah, thanks Snow Lion. Carl Sagan in the chat. I thought you were dead. Liz, as a Ferrari fan, I don't know what to say. Noah's unknown user. If you enjoyed it, hit the like subscribe button. In a few minutes, we're going to go to our premiere of the Romeo Prix. We're going to check now. We're going to follow the celebrations, any testiness in the cool-down room, any drama we will see, any last-minute penalties for track limits that we saw in qualifying. Anonymous, great race and pastry. Let us know in the comments right now, who is your driver of the day? In fact, I'm going to do the poll as well. So I'm going to see who you're recommending as I put them in the poll. Who is your driver of the day? We have to go, obviously, we've got 4 options. Verstappen for winning it. Then we've got to put Norris, I think, as well. And I think we have to put Perez. Great result from Perez. And I think we've also got to put... I think we'll put George Russell. Because he's come all the way down from 18th. No Danny Rick in there, but you can put Danny Rick separately. So put the poll in. Yeah, if I had a 5th option, but I don't think I can ignore George Russell going from 18th up to 6th. If I had to choose. Although a very solid result there for Daniel Ricciardo. There's only 4. Don't shoot me. There's only 4 choices. Rethably Gibbs saying Norris. T saying Ricky. Ricciardo made an insane comeback for his first race back. Yeah, I regret not putting him in. Diamond saying Alex Young. Who the hell is Alex Young? What about Hulkenberg? You joking? Really bad race there for Hulkenberg. Erwin saying Piastri. Any chance you can remove the Hamilton graphic? Oh, sorry. We had it there. My bad. My bad. Danny Rick replacing Checo. Well, look. Checo held off Hamilton there. Maybe this is the return of Sergio Perez. Max Verstappen, by the way, jumps into the Red Bull mechanics. He's really happy with this one. So are they, actually having to work from it. It's like a apex predator having to work for its food. That's what we've seen here. Keep saying Red Bull 1, McLaren 2, Red Bull 3 is great. Yeah, Carlos, unfortunately, and now Verstappen celebrating with Josh Verstappen and Helmut Marko. The helmet. So Josh Verstappen very happy there. Lando really excited. He's celebrating with someone in the Red Bull garage. Verstappen and Lando presumably going to congratulate each other as well. We will see. Getting weighed now. But remember that lap time. Sorry, but everyone. That lap time from Lando Norris at 1 minute 20. Not Lando, Max Verstappen. That was a pretty brutal lap time, that one. Pretty brutal. to get that done, to have that in reserve is mad. No saying Max turn 1 dive bomb was dirty. I'll have a look at the replay and let you know. I was more looking at Oscar Piastri's really nice line to try and have both of them on the exit. But we know how Verstappen was being squeezed into the pit wall. So Hamilton was squeezing Verstappen into the pit wall. Saif saying Norris is one of the best drivers on the grid right now. Sean, does helmet headbutt a photographer this week? Yeah, it's a contractual requirement for helmet Marco and the photographers. It's a liability thing. Great result for Lando now. Lando is quietly establishing himself as basically the hottest property in F1 because Verstappen's not going to go anywhere from Red Bull, I think. But we might see Verstappen in the Ferrari or something in the future. Pigeon Boy says Aston Martin are letting Alonso down. Oh dear. Jeff, what a silly comment, Jeff. Jeff, you are a silly man. Thanks, Greasy Flight. Thanks, Anonymous. I thought I was going to fall asleep here. It's 1 AM here, but you kept entertaining us here off some break. Thanks, man. We'll be doing these all the way through till I die. No worries, Vlatka. What we're going to do now, we've got 30 minutes of the premiere, so we're going to follow the post-race, let you know. Nico Rosberg's hosting the post-race, and Sergio Perez looks really fresh, I have to say. And a great race from Sergio Perez. I wonder if he could have done a one-stopper in the end. No worries, Keith. Thanks for the donations, my friend. Dot says Lando Norris is a cheater. Abel Ball says Lando will get in trouble with Oscar. I'm having a look here, some of the Sergio Perez moves when we got past Fernando Alonso. Man, the Aston Martin's just been completely anonymous here. Really bad race. Fast pit stop for Perez. Had to get past, I think, both Ferraris as well. So lots of overtakes done by Sergio Perez in this race. Fair play to the Mexican Minister of Defense. Lucas says, would you like to see Lando in a Red Bull seat? I would love to see Lando against Max. I would love to see that equal opportunity. Welcome, by the way, to Marion. Magnus, Marlet, Randy, Hung Doc, Jurek, and Will. Thanks, Snowline, as well. Thanks, Marja. TRB, I reckon Lando at Red Bull with reg changes. Signal man, you always downplay Lewis a bit to praise Max. I just got told off for having a Lewis Hamilton gif on my stream. You can never win. You can never win in this seat. It's the hardest seat in F1 motorsport casting.
7 laps remaining.
Timmy says Lando Norris is fast, but not a cheater. See what you've done there. Evan saying superb race. It was an interesting race, I have to say. Maybe if you're that ahead in the championship, you should be forbidden from starting first. I feel like NASCAR would do something like that. Thanks, Jeff. You seem like an interesting character, my friend. Thanks, Espero. How long, Alex says, how long before Stroll loses a seat? How long does the money keep flowing for? But yeah, Stroll has really not had a great seat. I say that, I mean, he's only 4 seconds behind Alonso here. So you can't on one hand call Alonso a generational talent and then say, oh, Stroll's rubbish, and there's a 4-second difference. That doesn't add up. You've got to pick your seat there. Haters gonna hate, yes. Yeah, George Russell's ahead of Charles Leclerc with that penalty. I think Mercedes will be quietly happy with their pace. I think Mercedes is probably building towards next season. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing next season if we see a Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren fight with the Ferraris getting better, Aston Martin in the mix of some tracks? You know, that's what we all want to see. Is we all want to see. To be fair, this is the closest, in a way, it's the closest F1 has been for a long time. Like, because F1 was such a reliability was so important before, you just didn't have, you had such a big gap in the midfield. And now it's really condensed. Do you think it's a win for Daniel Ricciardo? I think it's a good result for Daniel Ricciardo for sure, yeah. I think he'll be looking and saying, right, he wants to get in the points now. Because he wasn't too far off the point. I think they'll be looking at Alex Albon and saying, look, we need to be beating that Williams Alex Albon. Sean Smith can't wait for the debut F1 cars. Didn't know a day we were entering Formula 1. Snowline says that was a really exciting race. Everyone, here's Max Verstappen. He looks really relaxed. He was very focused before the race. Right, having a look here at the start in the background of his interview. So he's squeezed by Lewis Hamilton. So what happens Max Verstappen is looking at well. Squeezed a little bit. He's on the paint by the pit wall. Max Verstappen is just going to go deep, presumably. Oh, they've cut away. I don't really see anything wrong with it. I've got to be honest. I think at Catalonia, Max should have been penalised lap 1 for squeezing out Carlos Sainz. Like, no one agrees with me on that. But I don't think... I didn't see he did anything wrong there. I suppose there's 33-second gap. They did that just for the sponsors. Amos saying he's a subpar driver. Is that Max? Sean Smith, Nico asks Max, how much fun is it to destroy the rest of the field? What a brutal question
That's
that
a
is.
checkered flag.
Nice one, Theodorus. Great to have you on board. Sorry, Jade. You'd have to join us for the next race. Is it France? Is it Paul Ricard? I don't know.
Max Verstappen must be very disappointed with his race today.
But yeah, let me check on the pole, by the way. Lando Norris winning the pole, but it's not utter domination. George Russell and Sergio Perez very close as well.
I think the fans will be just as disappointed as the team with this weekend.
But yeah, we'll have to see in the cool-down room and stuff like that. Now we can just sort of chill. Think about the... I mean, Max Verstappen is dominating the championship. No worries, live track.
Next time,
Oh, France got cancelled.
another year to the legend of
Really?
Francorchamps.
I don't believe you, but I don't like France. Just to be clear, I've got nothing against French country, but I don't like the France racetrack. I don't like Paul Ricard at all. Really don't like it. Not my favourite. Thanks, Clack D. I'll tell you what we're going to do. So, bear with me, everyone. This is going to be quite exciting. Very, very, very exciting thing is about to happen. So, I need to try and get this working, which I will do, because I know to do this. So... Nice. So what we're going to do, everyone, is in a couple of minutes, in fact, literally a minute, there's going to be a live premiere of behind the scenes on a grid walk. By the way, it's the behind the scenes here of the driver room. How are they looking? Lando looks really relaxed. Perez hasn't been in there for a while. I mean, Perez has won 2 races this season. Let's not forget. Yeah, I think it's always thinking, oh, next season could be really good, but it could be really good. But that lap time that Verstappen did, where he just absolutely destroyed everyone. Yes, he was on fresher tyres. They're having a look at the start here. Oscar Piastri could potentially, if things have unfolded a little bit differently, had both Verstappen and Hamilton. Lando was just sort of, he was a bit unlucky because he was also on the outside. Norris beat Lewis fair and square. Oh, it's Team Lewis, Team LH had it again. Yeah, remember, Lando Norris has never won a race in Formula 1. It was Daniel Ricciardo, ironically, who won in the McLaren at Monza. But in order to win, Lando needs to beat Max Verstappen, basically. This should have been a very interesting race if Verstappen had retired, because I'm sure Perez would have put more pace on Lando. Hamilton was there as well. So if Verstappen had retired, it could have got very, very, very interesting. Key says you heard it here first. Wow, wow, wow. That's the prediction. I'll have to have a look if there's going to be any post-race penalties applied. But here we go, chat. We are going to go over now to a live premiere. Hopefully you as well, Claudio. So all you need to do is either hit this link or the stream will take you there. If you want to be safe, hit this link. We're now going over to a live premiere of what it's like to be behind the scenes on an actual Martin Brundle grid walk. You really don't want to miss it. The premiere is starting right now. No one has seen this. It's a world exclusive. Sharing it all with you first. Hope to see you all there. If you go over there, drop a like on the way in. Let me know in the chat that you made it. But I'm going to end the stream and it's going to take you to the premiere. Let's go. I will see you